Hello and welcome to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, we are going to discuss the top 15 Typeform automations that you can set up with Pabbly Connect. So Typeform is one of the most popular online form building applications used by a lot of users. And in this video, we are going to discuss some of the best automations related to Typeform that you can use. So let's discuss a few of them first. The first automation that we have is adding Typeform responses to Google Sheets. And this is pretty awesome. Using this automation, you can basically get the form responses from Typeform, and instantly in real time, you can add the same Typeform responses into the Google Sheet and create or maintain the record over there. The next automation that we have is adding Typeform leads to Zoho campaign. Let's say you're using Zoho campaign as an email marketing platform and you have created a new lead generation form using Typeform. Now you want that whenever a user makes a form submission in Typeform, you want to add that same person as a lead in Zoho campaign. So using Pabbly Connect, you can automate this process too. The next automation that we have is to create Trello card from Typeform responses. So using this automation, you, your team members, or your customers or clients can actually make the form submission which you have created using Typeform, and automatically with the same details, a new Trello card can be created in your Trello board. Moving ahead, we have the automation of creating HubSpot contact from Typeform. So using this automation, whenever you get a new form response from Typeform or anyone is going to enter their details and makes the form submission, you can basically add that same person with the same details as a contact in your HubSpot CRM or any other CRM platform as well. The next automation that we have is creating WordPress posts from Typeform responses. Let's say on a regular basis, you share or your team member shares new blogs on WordPress. Now you want that whenever you see a new form submission using Typeform with the same image and the same content with the same details, a new post, a new blog should be created in your WordPress site. So using Pabbly Connect, you can automate this process as well. You can collect the post content from your team members using Typeform responses and automate the process of creating a new post in WordPress with the same details as well. And the last automation that we have is generate content on Typeform submission using OpenAI and share on Slack. Let's say you or your team members on a regular basis start creating new content on some new topics. So using this automation, you can get the details, the titles or the topic of a new content from Typeform submission. Using OpenAI, you can automatically generate some new content on that same topic which you have received from Typeform response. And after generating the content using OpenAI, you can share that same content with the same topic with your team members on Slack. You can completely automate this process. You make the form submission and you get the content generated by AI on your Slack channel. So these were just a few of them, but in this complete guide, we are going to discuss the best of 15 Typeform automations that you can use. So without any further delay, let's begin.
In this video, we are going to learn how you can add Typeform leads to Zoho campaigns automatically. So the idea here is that you have created a form using your Typeform account and you have embedded on a website to capture the leads. Now you want that whenever a form is submitted, and you have received the form submission details, using that details, a new subscriber should get added to your Zoho campaigns account. For that, you need to integrate your Typeform with Zoho campaigns. So here your trigger application would be Typeform and your action application would be Zoho campaigns. So how you can integrate both these software applications using Pabbly Connect? For that, you need to come to my screen. So welcome to my screen. Here let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Now, as you are a new user, you have to just click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes. And you're going to get free task every month. If you're already a user of Pabbly Connect, simply click on sign in. In the all apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on access now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on Create Workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as Typeform to Zoho Campaigns Integration. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on Create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want that whenever a type form is submitted, automatically using the details of the form submission, a new subscriber should get added to your Zoho campaigns. For that, first we are going to integrate Typeform with Pabbly Connect. So open this trigger window and here choose the application name as Typeform. Select the trigger event as new entry. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Typeform. Now it is asking us for the access. So let's scroll down and we are going to just click on accept to give away the access over here. Authorization successful, and now the Typeform account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my Typeform account. So make sure before creating a connection you are logged into your Typeform account. Now as we have created a connection, here we can find all the forms that I have created in my Typeform account. Okay, so I'll just take you to my Typeform account, and here you can see I have created 4 forms: contact form, Jira form and other forms also. So now I want that whenever a response is captured in my contact form, then automatically the same response should get captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So here I'll be selecting the same form, that is contact form over here. And now let's click on save and send test request. And here we can see that it is waiting for the response. So in order to capture the response, we have to do a test submission. It means we have to fill up the form on the name of a customer. So let's move to the form. Here I'm just going to click on this form. And in this form, I have taken 4 fields, that is the first name, last name, email address and the phone number of the contact. If you want to add some more fields by clicking on the plus sign, you can add new questions as per your requirement. Okay. Then you have to just click on publish and the form will get published. After that, we have to just click on this share button. And here we can find the form link. So I'm just going to copy this link and I'll be opening in a new tab so that the form can be filled. Okay, so let us fill in the details on the name of a customer. Let's give the first name of the customer as demo, last name as name itself, email address as demo@pabblytuts.com. And here I'm just going to enter the phone number. So I'm just going to give a random phone number over here. And let's click on submit. So here we can see that a form has been submitted. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And within some seconds, the response will be captured over here. Okay. And we can find the form response. And here when we scroll down, we can find all the contact details or the form submission details captured over here. Okay. I'll just show you the details. Here we can find the name. That is last name of the contact. Okay, I'll just show you the first name also. Yes, this is the first name of the contact, last name, his email address, and here we can find the phone number. So now we want that using these details, automatically a new subscriber should get added to your Zoho campaigns. So scroll down and come to this action window and here choose the application name as Zoho Campaigns. Select the action event as add or update a subscriber. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Zoho campaigns. And now here it is asking for the domain. Enter the domain your Zoho account belongs to from below. So here I'll just take you to my Zoho campaigns account and you can see that my domain is zoho.com. Okay. So I'm just going to paste zoho.com over here. So you have to find your domain and you have to just paste it over here. And now let's click on save. Now it is asking for the access for the following information. So let's click on accept to give away the permissions. Authorization successful. And now the Zoho campaigns account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my Zoho campaigns also. So make sure before creating a connection, you are logged into your Zoho campaigns account also. Now here we have to select the list name. So as we have created a connection, here we can find all the lists that I have created in my Zoho campaigns account. You can find the list name, that is Pabbly Form Builder Leads and Typeform Leads. So now I want the subscriber to be added to my Typeform Leads list over here. Okay. And here you can see that I don't have any leads or the subscribers over here. It is mentioned as 0. Okay. So we'll be selecting the same list over here, that is Typeform Leads. Okay. Now it is asking for the contact email address, first name, last name and other details. So we have already got all these details from our trigger response over here. So now we'll be mapping this data. Okay. For mapping, scroll down. Simply click it over here, come to the response of trigger, that is Typeform, and from here we'll be mapping the email address. In the same way, we'll be mapping the first name. Here we'll be mapping the last name. And we don't have the company name, so I'm just leaving this field as blank. If you have the company name in the response, you can just map it over here. Here we have to map the phone field. And we don't have the address details, so we can just leave these fields as blank. Okay. So now let's scroll down and we're going to click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received, and in the response we have got a message. A confirmation email is sent to the user. User needs to confirm to successfully subscribe. So let's move to the email address of the customer to whom the mail has been sent. And here we can see that a mail is received, confirm your subscription. Okay. And here we can find, dear demo, thank you for subscribing for the following. And here we have to just click on confirm subscription. You're all set now. Okay, so the subscription is confirmed. Thank you for joining our mailing list. So now let us check whether the customer is added or the subscriber is added to a Zoho Campaigns account or not. We have to just refresh our Zoho Campaigns account. Okay, and here we can find the Typeform leads as 1. Let's check the lead. And here we can find the lead name as demo@pabblytudes.com, first name as demo, last name as name. And here we haven't mentioned the company name and the city details, so these are blanks. So in this way, we can see that our integration is working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay. Now, as we have set up an automation, this is a one-time process. Next time, whenever the form will be filled, automatically the subscriber will be added to your Zoho Campaigns specific list whenever the subscriber confirms his subscription via mail. So now we are going to check this in the real time that whether our integration is actually working fine or not. For that, I'll just move to the contact form once again. And here we are going to enter the details of some other customer. Okay. So let's give the first name of the customer as dummy. Last name as customer itself. Email address as dummy@pabblytudes.com. And here I'll be entering a phone number. And let's click on submit. Okay, so the form has been filled. Now we are going to check the email address of the customer. And here we can see a new mail, confirm your subscription. And here we can see that this mail is for dear dummy. So this particular mail is for dummy customer. Thank you for subscribing for. And here we have to just confirm the subscription. And here we can see that the confirmation is successful over here. Thank you for joining the mailing list. Now let us check our Zoho Campaigns account. We have to just refresh it. Okay, and now we can see that we have 2 subscribers in our Typeform leads specific list over here. And another customer is dummy@pabblytudes.com. Here we can find the first name as dummy and last name as customer. So in this way, we can see that our integration is perfectly working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And now I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. So first, we have created an integration between Typeform and Pabbly Connect so that whenever the form is filled, automatically the details are captured in Pabbly Connect. And then using those details, we have added the same subscriber into your Zoho Campaigns account whenever the subscriber confirms his subscription via mail. And in this way, we have learned that how we can add Typeform customers to Zoho Campaigns as subscribers using Pabbly Connect. Thank you.
In this video, we are going to see how to add ActiveCampaign subscribers from Typeform form entries. So let's say that you're using Typeform as a form builder application, and every time you receive a new submission, then the information that you have received about your user, so with that information, you should be able to create a contact in ActiveCampaign, which is your email marketing automation tool. Now, how can you do that? For this, you will have to set up some integration between the 2 applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here, your trigger application would be Typeform. Your action application would be ActiveCampaign. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect. And as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see 2 options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes. And yes, at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in. And as we do that, here we have reached the All Apps page. So we are going to click on Access Now for Pabbly Connect, as we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. Now we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab, Create Workflow. Let's click on this. Now our dialog box has appeared, which is asking me to name my workflow. Now here my objective is to add ActiveCampaign subscribers from Typeform submissions. Basically every time there's a form submitted through Typeform, then automatically with that information a subscriber should be added in ActiveCampaign. So I'm going to name it as add ActiveCampaign subscribers from Typeform form entries. Let's click on create. So as we do that, here we have reached another page which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this. Basically action here is the response of our trigger application. Now as per my objective, my trigger application would be Typeform as I wish to receive entries. So I'm going to click on this. And the trigger event. So this is the event that will make my workflow run. So the event would be new entry. So every time there's a new form submission, this workflow should run. So let's click on connect. Here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Typeform account. Now to set up this connection, I'm going to select add new connection and then connect with Typeform. So once we do that, here we have to provide the acceptance. As we do that, you can see that the authorization has been successful. So once this is done, now first let me take you to my Typeform account. So this is my Typeform account. I have created a few forms here and this is the form that I have just created. So here I have the following fields: first name, last name, phone number and email address. Now once you have created this form, we have to go to publish. And here we can see a link of the URL. I'm going to copy this and open this in a new tab. So here is the form. Now before we fill out this form, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and here we have selected the new form. Let's click on save and send test request. So once we have done that, now it is asking us to do a test submission so that the record can be captured here as a response. So now I'm going to go to the form that we have just opened and let's fill out this form. So let's say the first name is new. Now the last name is user. Then we have the phone number. So let's say this is the phone number. And then the email address. So let's say it is new user@pabblytudes.com. And let's click on submit. So once we have done that, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and here we can see that we have received the API response. So if I take you down here, we have received the phone number, then we have the email address, then we have the name, etc. Now what is my objective? That with this information that we have received, I should be able to create a subscriber in ActiveCampaign. So the next action application would be ActiveCampaign. Let's click on this. And now the action event here would be to create a contact. Let's click on connect. Once done, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the ActiveCampaign account. I'm going to select add new connection. Now to set up this connection, we need the API key and the URL. So I'm going to take you back to my ActiveCampaign account. And here we have to go to settings. Once we are here, we have to go to developer. And here we have the API access, the URL and the key. So first I'm going to copy this API key, go to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here. And then we have the URL. So this is the URL. I'm going to copy this and paste this over here. As per the instructions, we are supposed to only have this particular part, which means we are not supposed to write the HTTPS part. So I'm going to delete this. And let's click on save. Here we can see that Pabbly Connect is now connected with ActiveCampaign. And here we have to map this information. What is mapping? Mapping means that I already have this information in my previous step. So if I click on this, here it is showing me the previous step. So I just have to click on this and retrieve this information. And why is mapping important? Because if I write this manually, it will never capture the new data. It will only capture the manually written data. So to avoid that, mapping is important. Now I'm going to go to step 1 and here I'm going to look for the email address. This is it. Then we need the first name. So here I'm going to look for new. So this is our first name. Then the last name. So here again I'm going to go to step 1 and I'm going to look for the last name. Here it is. And finally the phone number. So again, I'm going to look for the phone number, and here we have the phone number. Now let's click on Save and Send Test Request. So here we have received a response. Now I'm going to take you to my ActiveCampaign account. Let's go to Contacts here. And here you can see that yes, our contact has been created. So this is new user, the email address is here and the phone number, which basically means that this integration process is a success. But we also need to check this in real time. So I'm going to take you back to the form that we have submitted. Let's refresh the page. And now let's fill in the information. Let's say this time the first name is demo. Then the last name here is test. Then we have the phone number. So this is the phone number. And then we have the email address. So let's say it is demo test at pabblytudes.com. Let's click on submit. So as soon as we have submitted this, automatically a subscriber should be added to ActiveCampaign. So now I'm going to take you to ActiveCampaign, and here I'm going to refresh the contacts page. And yes, we have the user right in front of us. So demo test is a subscriber now. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. Going back to Pabbly Connect, let's quickly understand what we have done. So this is an extremely easy two-step integration process where our trigger application is Typeform and the event is new entry. The action application is ActiveCampaign and the event is create a contact. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the description box. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any other integration that you wish to work on, you can always write to us.
In this video, we are going to see how to get email notifications or send follow-ups to Typeform respondents. So let's say that you're using Typeform as a form builder application, and here you want that every time a new response has been received, you want to send an email. So you want to notify the user about the response received as well as the admin about the new lead received. Now how can you do this? For this you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Typeform and your action application would be Gmail. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen.
To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes. And also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in as I'm an existing user over here. And here we have reached the all applications page. Now we are going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect as we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. Here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Here my objective is to send email notifications or send follow-ups to Typeform respondents. So every time a form is filled in Typeform, then I want to send a mail to my user and also to my admin informing about the lead. Now I'm going to click on create. And here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this. Basically action here is the response of our trigger application. Now here my objective is that every time a Typeform response is received, then only this workflow should run. So my first application would be Typeform. And then the action event here would be and then the trigger event here would be new entry. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with a Typeform account. To set up this connection, I'm going to click on add new connection and then connect with Typeform. I've already logged into my Typeform account, so let's quickly accept. And as I do that, here you can see that the authorization has been successful. Now, let me show you the form that I have created. So this is my Typeform account and here I have created a few forms. So this is the form that I've just created. The name is new form And here we have the following details: first name, last name, phone number, and email address. So taking you back to Pabbly Connect, you can see that the name of the form has already been captured by the system. I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. So as soon as I do that, it is asking me to do a test submission in the application so that it can capture the response here. So going back to Typeform, so this is the form that I've created. Let's click on Publish. As soon as I do that, here there is a link. I'm going to copy this, open this in a new tab over here. And as I do that, here you can see that we have the form right in front of us. Let's fill in the form. So let's say the first name here is Dummy. Then we have the last name, which is 0. And now we have the phone number. So let's say this is the phone number. And then the email address is dummy0@pabblytudes.com. Now I'm going to click on Submit. So here our form has been submitted. Going back to Pabbly Connect, let's see if we have received the API response. Here it is. So we have the form response form ID, then we have the name of our form. As I take you down, we have the phone number, first name, last name, and email address. So we have received this information. Now my objective is to send an email to my user. So here I'm going to look for Gmail. Let's click on this. And the action event would be to send an email. Let's click on Connect. Again, Pabbly Connect wants to set up the connection between Pabbly Connect and Gmail. So I'm going to select Add New Connection, Connect with Gmail. Here I have to select the account. And then once selected, I'm going to go down, click on Continue. So once it is done, this means that Pabbly Connect is now connected with Gmail. And here we have to fill in this information. Basically, we have to map the information. Mapping means that as I click on this, it will show me the previous step, and I have some data here that already exists. I'm just going to retrieve it here. Why is mapping important? Because every time my workflow runs, it would be able to capture the new data. Otherwise, if I write this manually, it will only take the manually written data. So now, here we have to write the recipient's email address, and I'm sending this to the user. So let's look for the email address. Here it is. And as I take you down, this is the sender's name. So let's say the name of the sender is Pabbly Connect. Now, since this is the name of the company, it is going to be static. It won't change. That is why I have written this manually. Now, what is the email subject? So let's say that since the user has just filled in the form, I'm going to write response received is the email subject. Now reply to, and then email content type. So it is plain. Now the email content. So I'm going to write dear. Now I'm going to map the name of the person to give it a personalized touch. Dummy. Right? Here it is. So dear Dummy. So now let's say the message is, thank you for your time. Your response has been received. You will be soon contacted by a representative at, and here I'm going to write the email address. So I'm going to go to step 1, and again here I'm going to look for this email address. Who would resolve your queries regarding our product? Thanks, or regards, Team Pabbly. So this is the message. Now if you wish to attach any file, so you can write the name of the file and the attachment. I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. So here we can see that our mail has been sent. So now let me take you to the email address where we have received a mail, and yes, here it is. So the mail has been received through Pabbly Connect, and this is our message. This basically means that our integration till here has been successful. Now taking you back to Pabbly Connect, what do I want? I want to send an email to the admin as well. So I'm going to select the application once again, Gmail. And now the action event here would be to send email. Let's click on Connect. I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. And now here I'm going to write the recipient's email address. Now this is my admin, so I'm going to write. So this is the recipient's email address. Now the sender's name is again Pabbly Connect. And then we have the email subject, which is new lead received. And then here we have to write the email content. So our email content is, dear team, we have received a new lead. Details are, then we have the name here. So we are going to look for name. And here I'm going to step 1 to look for the name. We know that the name is Dummy, and here it is. Then we have the contact number. So here for the contact number, let's again map the information. Go to step 1. Here is the contact number. And then we have the email address. So here again, I'm going to map the information. So this here is the email address, and here we are done with our content. And now if you have a file, then you can attach it here and name it here. I'm going to click on save and send test request. And here we have received the email. And here you can see that yes, I have received an email. Dear team, we have received a new lead. These are the details. This basically means that this integration process is a complete success. But now we also need to check this in real time. So I'm going to go back to the form. I'm going to refresh the page, and here I'm going to fill in another form. So let's say this time the first name is testing123. Then the last name here is name. Then we have the phone number. So this is the phone number, and then we have the email address. So it is testing123@pabblytuts.com. And now I'm going to submit. As soon as I submit this, a mail should be sent to the admin and one mail should be sent to the user. So let's check the user's account first. And yes, here you can see dear testing123, and this is the message. Now I'm going to go to the admin's email address. Let's go to inbox, and here you can see that we have received a new lead. Basically, this means that our entire integration process is a success. Taking you back to Pabbly Connect, let's quickly understand what we have done. So this is an extremely easy 3-step integration process where our trigger application is Typeform, the event is new entry, our action application is Gmail, the event is sent email where we have sent this email to the user, and then our action application again is Gmail where we have sent this email to the admin. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the description box. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any other integration, specific integration that you wish to work on, you can always write to us.
Guys, in this video, you will learn how you can automatically share filtered Typeform entries on Twitter. So guys, if you are a Typeform user and you want to share some filtered responses of Typeform like customer feedbacks or reviews on your Twitter automatically, this video is for you. So stay tuned and let's get started. To set up this automation, guys, we are using Pabbly Connect, which is an automation tool, and this is the landing page of Pabbly, and from here you can sign up for free and you will get free automation tasks every month to test and set up your automation. So you can just sign up right now, and after that you have to sign in and you will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect application. And from here, guys, you have to click on this create workflow button to set up the workflow, and here you can give a name to your workflow as well. So I am giving the name here. So I have given the name here as Typeform to Twitter integration. So after filling the name, just click on create button and you can see your workflow page is getting ready. All right, and on this page, guys, you will find these two modules, the trigger and the action. So with the help of these two things, we can set up the automation. So trigger is that event which is going to start the workflow, and the action would be the response or automated consequence of the trigger. So in our use case, guys, filling of Typeform will act as a trigger to this workflow, and the action would be to share some filtered responses on Twitter as a tweet. Okay. So here, guys, in the trigger section, it is asking to choose the application. So here we are going to choose Typeform. Okay. So if you're using any other form builder, you can also search for it like JotForm or Google Forms. All right. And after that, you have to select the trigger event as new entry. Then click on connect. And from here, select add new connection. Then click on connect with Typeform. Alright, so you can see it is asking to choose your account, and from here you have to click on accept to provide the access to your Typeform. Just click on accept and you will be connected with Typeform. Okay, so the authorization is successful. We are connected, and here it is asking to select the form that you are using to collect anything. So actually I am using a form to collect reviews from my customers. Okay, so the name of my form is product review form. This is my form named as product review form template. Okay, so I'm going to select this from here like this, and then click on save and send test request, and it will start waiting for the connections response. Okay, so this means now we can perform a test submission. Test submission means now we are going to manually fill the form with some sample details or test details, and the submission details will be captured here in this response section, and with the help of those details we are going to move forward in this automation. Okay, so here is my form. You can see review your recent experience. So here I am clicking on let's do it, and this is asking for the ratings. So here I am providing 5-star rating. Okay, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend or colleague? So I'm putting here 8 points, and in the additional thought section I am going to just type very useful product. Okay, and here I am clicking on submit, and you can see the form has been submitted. Let's see in our workflow if we got the data captured of this submission. And here you can see in this response section we got the data captured, and here it is showing the details, the questions that we have asked, and we got the responses also. You can see this is the additional thought I have written, very useful product. Okay, and here it is showing the number. So this is the recommendation score that I have added, 8 points. Okay, and here is the rating, 5. Okay, so guys, now I want that whenever I got 5-star ratings or more than 4-star ratings on my product and the recommendation score more than 6, I want to share these things on my Twitter as the good feedback from our customers. Okay, so I'm going to filter this thing out from the response. Okay, I do not want to share bad feedbacks. I only want to share good feedbacks in which we got star ratings more than 4 and recommendation score more than 6. For that we are going to apply a filter here. So in this action step, choose filter by Pabbly. Here is filter, and then it will ask to select the label according to which you want to filter out. So I want to filter out according to the ratings label and the recommendation score label. So for that, first of all, you just have to click here and the trigger step will appear in the drop down. So from here, first of all, I am going to select the rating label. Okay, so you just have to scroll down here and you will find the ratings here. This is the rating label. Let me show you. Here you can see where it is showing 5. Just map it, and in the filter type I am going to select greater than option, greater than, and here I am going to put the value as 3. Okay, so this means whenever I got the ratings greater than 3, that means star rating 4 or 5, then only I want to share the feedbacks. Okay, and another condition is that when the recommendation score is greater than 6, for that I am going to add a AND logic condition here. So you can see we can apply both AND logic condition or OR logic condition. Okay, so when you apply AND condition, both the conditions should be true, then only the workflow will continue. And with OR condition, any one of the conditions can be true and the workflow will continue. Okay, here I'm applying AND condition here, and here it is asking to select the label again. Now this time I'm going to select the label of the recommendation score that we have received. So you will see the recommendation score here. Here it is showing 8. Select this, then select the filter type greater than, and here I'm going to put 6. So whenever the recommendation score is greater than 6 and the star rating greater than 3, then only the workflow will continue. So click on save and send test request, and here it will show the condition is true. Okay, because this condition is actually true according to our response that we have fetched. Okay, and when this condition matches true, what we want to share the feedback on Twitter. So for that I have clicked here on this plus icon to open another action step, and here I am going to connect with Twitter. Okay, and here in the action event, select create tweet option, then click on connect. From here select add new connection and then click on connect with Twitter. Alright, so from this window you have to authorize the account that you're using on Twitter. Click on authorize app. Okay, and you can see we are getting connected. Right, And here it is asking which message that you want to share. So I want to share the response. So here I am typing the message as new feedback received from our customer. Okay, and here I'm going to put ratings, star ratings. And after star ratings, I'm going to map the ratings that we got from Typeform. So in Typeform, you will find the ratings label here like this, the numbers label, just map it. And also, I'm going to map the question that I have asked. And the question I have asked is this: how likely are you recommend? So I'm mapping the question, then I'm going to put the answer. Answer / recommendation score. You can type anything. And here I'm going to map the score that we have received from the form submission. Okay. And if you want to share additional thoughts, you can map that also. Right now, I'm just sharing these two things. Okay. Now let's check our connection with our Twitter account. I'm clicking on save and send test request, and this tweet will be shared here on my Twitter handle. This is the Twitter handle we are using. Let me just click on save and send test request button. This is the response we have received. Let me show you on Twitter. Here, let me refresh the profile section. And here you can see we got a new tweet created. New feedback received from a customer, star rating 5. How likely are you going to recommend to friend or family? The score is 8. This is how it is going to work, guys. So we are done setting up this automation, and you have to set up it only once. After that, you don't have to do anything manually in this workflow. After that, it is going to run automatically whenever you are going to receive a form submission via Typeform. Okay. And guys, you can use this workflow as well, as I'm going to paste the link of this workflow in the description, and you can clone it in your own free Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation instantly.
Create task in Todoist from Typeform form submission automatically. So if you are tired of creating and assigning the task manually into your project management or task management software, then this video is for you, because here I'm going to show you an amazing way where you just need to fill your form, and as soon as the form submission will made, the task will be created and assigned automatically into your task management software. Here I am using this Todoist task management software, and as a form builder I am using Typeform form builder software. But just in case if you are using different applications, then also this type of automation can be created by simply connecting the application with the help of an automation software. Want to learn how you can create such type of automation for yourself? Come with me and I will show you the whole process step by step. So this is my Typeform dashboard, and here I have created this form with the name task assigning form to the team, and I want as soon as I am going to submit the form, the task should be created automatically into the Todoist software. And to create this automation, I'll have to build a connection in between these applications, and I'm going to do that with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing integration and automation software via which you can easily connect multiple applications and automate your task. And you can also reach here by typing pabbly.com/connect. I will also attach this link into my description box. Now, if you are a new user, you will have to sign up for free, where you will also get free tasks every month in your account in order to test these kinds of amazing automation. Well, I'm already an existing user, so that is why I'm clicking on sign in, and then I'll be clicking on access now, and this is how you can reach out to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Now, after reaching out to the dashboard, I hope it is visible to you. You will have to click on this blue button, that is create workflow, and simply provide a random name to your automation, to your workflow. So I'm pasting the name as when Typeform form is submitted, create task in Todoist. Okay, now click on create, and after that you will find two boxes in front of you. These are actually trigger and action. So trigger means when this happens, action means do this. Whenever this happens, do this. Understand with an example also. Whenever a sale happen in a payment gateway application, let's say send an email via Gmail application.
application automatically. And according to our use case, whenever the form is submitted into Typeform application, automatically create a task into Todoist application. Okay, so this is how you need to always select the applications in which you are building an automation. And here I'm building an automation in Typeform and Todoist, so that is why I have selected Typeform as the first application. And I want, as soon as a new entry is made into Typeform, this automation should trigger. So that is why as a trigger event I have selected this particular event, and I just have a single trigger event only here. Okay, now I'm going to connect to Typeform with the Pabbly Connect so that the details can be captured here into the Pabbly Connect, and then we are going to send the form details to Todoist so that we can create a task. Okay, so click on add new connection, click on connect with Typeform, and simply provide the access of your Typeform. Well, I'm already logged in into my Typeform account in some different tab, so that is why it is directly asking me for the permission. Here you can see the authorization is successful and the Typeform is connected with Pabbly Connect. Now whatever the forms are available into my Typeform account are started visible here. Okay, so I want that as soon as the form submission is made via this particular form, the task should be created automatically into the Todoist. So that is why I have selected specifically this particular form. Okay, now you will have to click on this button, and now you will have to read the instructions, waiting for response. Okay, so once you have clicked over the save and send test request button, do a test submission or record in that application in order to capture the response here. Okay, so it is asking to do a test submission or record, which means we will have to make a dummy submission in this particular form so that we can connect a Typeform and Todoist. Okay, so here is the form, and I'll be creating a task by simply submitting this particular form. So let's say the task name is need to arrange a dinner party for, okay, dinner party is going to be the task name. Click on OK, asking for the description. Kindly arrange a dinner for Pabbly team for the recent success. Okay, the success could be kind of anything. Okay, recent success. Okay, and click on OK, asking for the task deadline date. Well, you can give any task deadline date here. So I am providing the deadline date as 2023, month is 01, and assume that the task deadline date is of the 26th of January. Okay, clicking on submit, and you will see as soon as I am going to submit the form, the details of the form submission will be captured via Pabbly Connect. All right, I'll have to wait for the response for few more seconds. Okay, you can see the response is received. Let me show you the details one by one. Here we have the form response submitted at. Okay, so we have the date and time of the form submission. Here we have the name of the form. Let me show you other details. Okay, so here we have the task deadline date. All right, the task description is there, and let us check for all the details. All right, here we have the description, here we have the task name, and I'm also looking for the date. Here is the task deadline date. Okay, so I have received all the required data which is actually required for creating a task into Todoist. Okay, now the presence of this data clearly shows that the first step of our automation of our integration is successful. Now we are going to send the same data to Todoist in order to create a task. Okay, so you will have to search for the Todoist as a next application, and after that select an action event. So here I would like to create a task, so that is why I am going with this particular action event. Okay, and just like I have connected Typeform and Pabbly Connect, now I am going to connect to Todoist in Pabbly Connect. Okay, and for which it is asking for the token, so you will have to click on this particular hyperlink, and here exactly you will get the token which is actually required for the connection. Okay, so click on this developer section, and here click on this I button, and this is the API token which I am going to paste here. Click on save, and this is how Todoist and Pabbly Connect will be connected. Okay, it is simply asking for the content, the description, the project ID, basically few details which are actually required for creating the task. Okay, so here I am going to provide the name of the task. Okay, so remember we have received the data via Typeform, and I don't need to manually copy copy this data and paste it here. I'm going to map it, and mapping is very simple in Pabbly Connect. If you will click on this particular field, you will find the above data here in the drop down. You just need to select that particular field, and this is how the data, the values will be mapped. Okay, so searching for the task name, so I have the task name something like the dinner, need to arrange a dinner. Okay, so here you can see I have the task name as need to arrange a dinner party. Okay, asking for the description, so I remember again it was something like dinner party only. Okay, so kindly arrange a dinner for Pabbly team for the recent success. Okay, it is asking for the project ID, the section ID, the parent ID. Okay, so here you can see several project IDs are visible here. Okay, so here I would like to create a task in this YouTube team project. Okay, so I will be selecting this YouTube team project ID only. Okay, after that it is asking for the section, the parent ID, the human readable pre-presentation of due date. Well, these are not actually mandatory, so I'm going to fill only the important things which are actually required for creating a task. Okay, so for now I'm leaving this particular field blank. Well, it is asking for the due date, which is important, so I am going to map the due date, and here you can read the instructions that it is asking the specific date in this particular format only. Okay, the date format should be YYYYMMDD format. Okay, please note that the only one of the due fields can be used at the same time. Okay, so here you can see multiple due date options are there, so it has clearly mentioned that only one of the due fields can be used at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to fill this particular field. Okay, so again click on this particular field and you will find the due date here. So let me map the full date, and luckily we have the same format as YYYYMMDD, YYYYMMDD. No, it is not luckily. I have specifically captured my task deadline date in this particular format because I already knew that Todoist is going to ask the date into this particular format. Okay, so how you can also do the same when you are going to create your form, and when you are selecting this date field, you can select the date format right from here. So you can select the specific date format from here. Okay, so coming back to Pabbly Connect, and this is why I have specifically mentioned, I have specifically captured the date into this particular format only. Otherwise I'll have to change this date format into this automation only, into this workflow only, which is going to be a little time consuming. Okay, so in order to avoid that particular step, I have taken the date into this particular format only. Okay, asking for the label ID and the assignee ID. Okay, so whatever the form submission will be made, if you are going to select the ID here from the drop down, the task will be always assigned to that particular person. Why? Because here whatever the values you are going to add manually, these details will remain same, and whatever the details we have mapped here, these details will automatically be replaced when this automation is going to run in real time. Okay, so what will happen when the new form submission will be made, the data will be captured via Pabbly Connect, and that new data will replace this existing values. Okay, so that is why mapping is important in Pabbly Connect, and this is how this automation is going to take place. Okay, so now after selecting this priority, I'll be selecting this button save and send test request in front of you, and you will see how the task will be created automatically into my Todoist application. Okay, so clicking on this button and waiting for the response. Well, here you can see the response is received already. Going back, and here need to arrange a dinner party. Let me open this particular task. All right, here you can see need to arrange a dinner party. Here we have the task name, here we have the task description, and we even have the due date as the Thursday only, which we have specified at the time of form submission only. Okay, and priority is actually P4 because here we have specified the priority as the natural. Okay, so this is how now onwards, as soon as someone is going to submit this type form, the details will be captured via Pabbly Connect, and the task will be created automatically into the Todoist software. Because why this is going to work in real time, because this trigger will instantly capture new incoming data and the workflow execution will start in real time. Okay, so let me show you one more time that how whenever I'm going to submit this form, how the task will be created automatically. So this time, create a short video for YouTube channel. Okay, I'm providing this particular task name. Let me correct the spelling of the YouTube also. All right, I think it is correct. Now clicking on OK, and here I'm going to provide the description. The video should be on Instagram and Google Sheets integration. Okay, and here again I'm going to click on OK and asking for the task deadline date, so 2023 and 01. Okay, let me add the month, and here I'll be adding the task deadline date as 29th of January. Clicking on submit, and I'll be going to the Todoist software, and let me close this existing task and wait for the new task to be created. Well, the new task has been created automatically, and already create a short video for YouTube channel. This video should be on Instagram. Okay, I have made this error. This video should be on Instagram and Google Sheets integration, and here we have the task due date as the Sunday. Okay, so this is how now onwards you can entirely automate your process. You can start creating the task and assigning the task automatically with the help of this automation, with the help of Pabbly Connect. And you just need to set this automation inside Pabbly Connect once. After that, you can simply close Pabbly Connect and sit back and relax. Pabbly Connect will take care of all the tasks in the backend. Just in case if you want to access this workflow into your Pabbly Connect account as well, I am going to attach the shareable workflow link into my description box. You just need to click on this particular link and sign up for free into the Pabbly Connect, and the same workflow will be cloned into your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free. How to add Typeform entries to Mailerlite as subscribers automatically. So in this video, I'm going to connect or integrate Typeform and Mailerlite in such a way that every time the form submission is received here, I'm going to automatically add the very same person into the Mailerlite as a subscriber, so that I don't need to manually export the CSV file of all the submissions and then import it here in order to create a subscribers. And I'm going to do that with the help of an automation software. So if you also want to set this automation for yourself, come with me and I'll show you the whole process step by step. So this is my Typeform dashboard, and here I have created a form for the registration of the webinar, and I want whoever is going to submit this form, the person should be created as a subscriber automatically into the Mailerlite, and I'm going to do that with the help of Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing integration and automation software via which you can easily connect to multiple applications and automate your task. And you can also reach here by typing pabbly.com/connect. I will also attach this link into my description box. Now, if you are a new user of Pabbly Connect, you will have to sign up for free, where you will also get free tasks every month in your account in order to test these kinds of amazing automation. Well, I am already an existing user of Pabbly Connect, so that is why I have clicked on sign in, then I have clicked on access now, and this is how I have reached to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. And after that, the very first thing I'm going to do is to click on this blue button, create workflow, and simply pasting a name as when form is submitted in Typeform, create subscriber in Mailerlite. Okay, you can also provide any random name here. Now after that, you will notice two boxes in front of you. So these are actually trigger and action. So trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So whenever this happens, do this. Understand with an example also. Whenever a sale happen in a payment gateway application, let's say, send an email via Gmail application, and here according to our use case, whenever the form is submitted in Typeform application, automatically create subscriber in Mailerlite application. Okay, so this is how you need to always select the applications in which you are building an automation, and here I am building an automation in Typeform and Mailerlite. Okay, and the trigger event will be new entry, because I want every time a new entry is made into my form, the details should be first captured via Pabbly Connect. For that, I'll have to connect a Typeform with the Pabbly Connect. So choose this add a new connection, simply connect with the Typeform, and if you are already logged in into your Typeform account, it will simply ask you for the permission. Okay, so simply provide the permission, click on accept, and this is how the authorization will be successful and your Typeform account will be connected with Pabbly Connect. Now whatever the forms are available into my Typeform account have started visible here since we are connected, and I want that as soon as someone is
is going to fill this particular form, the data should be arrived here. So I will select the same form builder. Now simply click on this button, and now you will have to read the instructions, which is saying waiting for the response. Okay, so once you have clicked over the save and send test request button, do a test submission or record in that application in order to capture the response here. So basically it is asking to do a test submission or record into our Typeform. So I am going to open my form and I am going to fill our form with some dummy details. Alright, so this is my form. Let me open this form clicking on this copy link, and I will open the very same form completely in a new tab, in a different tab, and then I am going to fill this form using some dummy details. So first name, assume that the name of the person is dummy. Alright, the last name of the person is user. Alright, asking for the email address, so I am adding the test@gmail.com. okay, press enter. Asking for the phone number, again I am going to add the dummy phone number only. Alright, so I have provided a dummy number, basically 10-digit number. Alright, here you can see the form is submitted. Coming back to Pabbly Connect, and it is still waiting for the response, and here you can see as soon as the form is submitted, the details are here. Okay, so let me show you the details one by one. So here we have the form name, and let me also check for other details, basically for the form submission data. Alright, so here we have that dummy phone number. Where are the email address? Alright, here we have the email address, here we have the last name of the person, and here we have the full name of the person. Okay, so this is how basically the presence of this data clearly shows that the first step of our automation of our integration is working absolutely fine, which was connecting Typeform with Pabbly Connect and capturing the form responses here. Now I am going to send the same data to which application? Basically to the Mailerlite application, in which I would like to create a subscriber. Okay, so that is why I'll select this Mailerlite, and in action event, since I want to create a subscriber, so that is why I have selected the same. Simply click on connect, click on add new connection, and for connection it is asking for the token. So you will have to read the instructions while click on this hyperlink, and it will directly take you to that specific place from where you can generate your token. Okay, so simply click on this particular button and provide a random token name, and this is how the token will be generated automatically, which you can download for the future use, for the further use. But I have already connected my Mailerlite account with Pabbly Connect, so that is why I am not generating a new token. I will go with the existing connections only, but it is compulsory for you. If you're building the connections for the first time, you'll have to choose this add a new connection only, and you will have to generate this token, and you will have to provide that token. Okay, clicking on save, and this is how the Mailerlite account will be connected with Pabbly Connect immediately. Now I am going to simply provide the details here one by one. Okay, so let me provide the email address of the person. Alright, so currently nothing is selected, so I am going to enable this mapping button so that I can provide the values, and I am going to map these details. Okay, I am not going to manually copy this name and email address and paste it here. I am going to map it, and mapping is very simple inside Pabbly Connect. Simply click on this particular field and you will find the above data here, and I am going to search for the email address directly. Alright, here we have that email address, okay, which I will have to create as a subscriber. Alright, now it is asking for the name and the last name. So currently I am providing only the necessary details, only few details, those details which are actually required for creating a subscriber. Okay, so well, it is asking for the name, so I remember I have provided the first name as the dummy and the last name as the user. So how about I directly search for those specific value. Alright, so I have provided the details. Now I am going to click on this button, but before that let me also provide the phone number here as well. Okay, so I have provided the phone number as well. Clicking on this button, and here you will see the response will be received immediately, and the same person will be created as a subscriber into my Mailerlite email marketing software. Okay, so I have refreshed my software. All right,
Alright, so here you can see one subscriber has been added and it is the same email address. If I will open this particular subscriber, you will see the same name and the same details. Alright, so where are the details of this person? And here you can see the same name, the last name and the phone number. Okay, so this is how now onwards, every time someone is going to register for your webinar by filling out your Typeform form builder, the person will be created automatically as a subscriber into the Mailerlite. You do not have to manually export the CSV and import it to the Mailerlite. The data will be synced in real time and you will have to create this automation inside Pabbly Connect just once, and after that Pabbly Connect will take care of all the tasks in the backend. You do not have to do anything manually, and whatever the details I have mapped here, let me tell you, whatever the details I have mapped here, these details will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time in next time. Okay, so this is how this automation is going to take place. And just in case if you want to access this automation, this workflow which I have created in front of you, if you want to access this into your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach the shareable link of my workflow into my description box. You just need to click on this link and sign up into the Pabbly Connect, and the same workflow will be cloned into your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free.
In this video, we are going to see how to create Trello cards from new Typeform responses. So every time a new entry has been received in Typeform, which is a form builder application, then with the details that you have received, you want to create a card in Trello, which is a web-based list making application. Now, how can you do that? For this, you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Typeform and your action application would be Trello. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see your two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. Now I'm going to click on sign in, and as I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. And here we have reached the dashboard of this application. Again, on the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this, and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now here my objective is that every time a new response is received through Typeform, then automatically with the information received, I should be able to create a Trello card. So let's say that I have created a form for complaints. So every time a complaint is received, then automatically a card would be created with that complaint in Trello. So now I'm going to click on create, and here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, my trigger application which would be Typeform. Let's click on this. Now the trigger event, so this is the event that will make my workflow run, and here it would be new entry. So every time there is a new response received, then automatically this workflow is going to run. Now I'm going to click on connect. So as I do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with Typeform account. So I'm going to select add new connection, connect with Typeform. Now as I do that, here it is asking me to confirm the account, accept, and here you can see that the authorization has been successful, which basically means that Typeform is now connected with Pabbly Connect. Now let me show you my Typeform account. So this is my Typeform account where I've got a few forms already created, and here I have created this form, complaint register Typeform account. Okay, complaint register form, and here I have got the following fields: error name, error description, due date, email address, department and mobile number. If you wish to add more fields, you can use this plus icon. You can create a new form altogether, and then you can add more fields, or you can even delete a few. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, And here I'm going to select this form, which is complaint register form. Let's click on save and send test request. As we do that, it is asking me to do a test submission in the application in order to capture the response here, which basically means that I am supposed to now do a test submission, which means I'm supposed to fill up the form. So I'm going to take you to Typeform account once again. I'm going to first publish this. Now here you can see you have received the link. Let's copy this and open this in a new tab. As we do that, here we are going to fill in the information. First of all, let's say the error name is API error. Okay. The next thing is description. So I'm going to write API not working. The next thing is due date. So when do I want this issue to be all okay? By Feb 15 and 2023. Okay. Let's click on OK. Now the email address of the person, let's say it is demoUser@pabblytudes.com. Now the department here, let's say it is sales. Okay. So once I have filled in this information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And here let's see if we have received the API response. And yes, we have received the response. So as I take you down here, you can see this is the name of the error. Then again, this here is the description. Then here is the due date. Then again, this here is the email address of the person. And again, as I take you up, here is the department. So we have received the phone number as well, and we have received everything. Once we have received this information, now I wish to create a Trello card with this. So my action application here would be Trello. Let's click on this. Now the action event here would be to create a card. Since I'm creating a plain card, I'm going to select this one with plain type description. Let's click on connect. Now Pabbly Connect is again asking to connect itself with the Trello account. I've already logged into my Trello account. I'm going to select add new connection. And now to set up this connection, we need a username, API key and token. So once you have logged into your Trello, you have to click on this hyperlink. As you do that, first of all, this here is your API key. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Let's go back, and here you can see there is a hyperlink token. As you click on this, you will get the username. This here is the username. Let's copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here. And again, as I take you down here, you can see a tab allow. As I click on this, this here is my token. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Let's click on save. And now here we can see that Trello is now connected with Pabbly Connect. Now I'm going to take you to my Trello account. So this here is my Trello account. And here you can see these are the various boards. This here is my Trello account. And this is my workspace, and within this workspace there are various boards. And as I open a board, let's say I'm going to open customer complaints. This is a board that I have created. These are the various lists: complaints, Typeform responses, general complaints. These are the various lists. You can create another list by clicking on this tab, and within these lists we are creating different cards. Either you can create a card right from here. In this integration, we are creating a card automatically with the information received through Typeform. So I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and let's select the board, which is customer complaints. As I do that, see the list ID has already been acquired. So we have got two options and we are going ahead with complaints Typeform responses. Now we have to map this information. What is mapping? Mapping means that I already have this information in the previous step and I'm just going to retrieve it here. How? So as I click on this, it is showing me the previous step. Let's click on this. And now the name was API error. So here this is the name. Then the description. So again I'm going to do the same. As I click on this, I'm shown the previous step and here is the response, and then we have API error, API not working. So this here is our description. So why is it important to map? So that every time the workflow runs, it is not stuck with the manually written data and it can take new data into consideration. Next is the position of the card. Where do you want it to be placed? Top, bottom. So I want it to be at the top. Then if you have any member ID, you can paste it over here, or you can retrieve the member ID by taking this action step, list board members. Then similarly, you can have the label ID. I'm going to leave this blank. Next is the due date. Now the due date that we have received here, let me show you. So the due date that we have received here is in this format, year, month and date. But it is asked in a different format, month, date and year, which basically means that now we have to change the format, for which I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly, which is date time formatter. Let's click on this, and the action event here would be format date only. Let's click on connect. Now here I'm going to map the date that is supposed to be formatted. Let's go down. Here is the date, and the from format would be year, month and date. And the to format here would be month, date and year, which is this. Okay, let's click on save and send test request. And here we have received the information. Now I'm going to connect this once again by selecting the existing connection. As we go down, here is the due date. So I'm going to go to step 2, and this here is the date. So we have received the date in the same format. Now if you want to add a URL, you can add it over here or map the same. I'm going to simply click on save and send test request. And now here you can see that we have received API response, according to which a card must be created in Trello. And yes, here you can see that a card has been created. Let's see the details. So the due date is February 15th. What time? 5:30 a.m. Then what is the description? API not working. The name of the error is API error. This is in which list? Complaints Typeform responses. Okay, so we have received this information, and once this is done, this basically means that our integration process is a success. But we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to go back to Typeform. Here I'm going to copy this once again, open this in a new tab, and I'm going to fill up this form once again. So let's say the error name this time is data issue. This is the error name. What is the error description? So data not received. Okay, then we have the due date. Let's say it is 14th Feb. So I'm choosing February 14th 2023. And then next thing is email address. So let's say it is testuser@pabblytuts.com. And then we have the department. Let's say it is finance department. Okay, now the mobile number is okay. So the moment I have submitted this form, what should happen? Automatically with the details received, a Trello card must be created. So let's go back to Trello, and yes, here you can see date issue has been created, which basically means that our information, our integration is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So this is an extremely easy two-step integration process where our trigger application is Typeform, the event is new entry. Then our action application was Trello, where we had to create a card with plain text type description. To change the format of the date, we had used a feature by Pabbly, which is date time formatter. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Hello friends, today we are going to learn how to add new Typeform entries to Pipedrive as deals. Now Typeform is a form builder application and Pipedrive is a customer relationship management software. Now we will be integrating both these applications in such a manner that Typeform will be our trigger application and Pipedrive will be our action application. For example, whenever a new entry is received in Typeform, a new deal will be created in Pipedrive. This way, you can actually create a deal in your Pipedrive account without sharing their credentials. We will be doing this using an automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. Let us learn how to do it.
So in today's video, we will learn how to add new Typeform entries to Pipedrive as deals. We will be integrating Typeform and Pipedrive in such a way where Typeform will be our trigger application and Pipedrive is going to be our action application. And this integration will be done using an automation software, Pabbly. So as you can see, This is the landing page of Pabbly, and on the right top corner, you can see two options, sign up for free and sign in. If you don't have an existing account, you have to click on sign up for free, and because I have an existing account, I will click on sign in. It will take me to the login page of Pabbly where I can directly sign in with Google. As soon as I click on sign in, it will take me to this window where I can find all the applications that Pabbly provides. For integration today, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's just click on Access Now, and then I will be forwarded to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. On the right hand side again, you can see a blue button called Create Workflow. You have to click on that button because we are going to create a new workflow from scratch. So first thing that you have to give a name to the workflow. As we are using the two applications, Typeform to Pipedrive today. So I'm going to name this workflow the same. You can give any other name as per your comfort. Click on Create, and then two boxes will come in front of you, one with the name trigger and the other with action. Now what is an action and what is a trigger? A trigger is when this happens, which means you will add a trigger application over here. And why is it called a trigger application? Because the application will have an event which will be called trigger, and as that trigger happens, the action application will be affected in the same way. For example, today our trigger application is Typeform, and then it will ask you to enter a trigger event, that is new entry. Why? Because the trigger is new entry. As soon as a new entry is received by Typeform, the action will be creating a new deal in Pipedrive. So let's just connect our Typeform account to Pabbly Connect. Click on Connect and make sure that you have your Typeform account open in another tab. That will make it easier for Pabbly Connect to detect your account right away. Add new connection and then connect with Typeform. It will automatically detect and just ask for access. So click on accept and soon the authorization will be done. So it's connected now. As you can see, the name of the form is Pipedrive. Why? Because this is my Typeform account and you can see that there are two forms I've created. The form that I want to work on is Pipedrive deals, and that's what Pabbly Connect has detected. So I have opened this form in another tab in order to fill the form, and that detail, whatever details I'm going to fill in that form will be captured by Pabbly Connect over here, right? So let's just click on Save and Send Test Request and go to enter the form. Because it's a demo, I'm using the name demo user, the email address as the name of the organization, and then the value of a deal. Because this is a demo form, then I'm just going to enter any random value. So we have filled the form, and let's just wait for this response being captured by Pabbly Connect. So as you can see, in no time the response is received. The name, the number, the value, the name of the organization, the email address that we entered, and the name of the person whosoever will be filling the form. So like the response have been received, let us proceed to the next step, that is creating a person ID in Pipedrive. Let me tell you, this is a very important aspect of creating this workflow, that it's very simple that our trigger application was Typeform and our action application was Pipedrive. That is true, but before creating a deal in Pipedrive, in your Pipedrive account, you have to first create a person, because that is how your Pipedrive deal will be connected to that specific person. So our action application is Pipedrive only, but we are going to use this application 2 times with 2 different events. Click on action and then first create a person. Because until and unless there is an ID made of that person, Pipedrive won't accept a deal. Now click on connect and connect your Pipedrive account to your Pabbly Connect. But again, I need to remind you that you should have a Pipedrive account already and log in into it. Then you go back to Pabbly Connect, click on Add New Connection. Now it will ask you for an API token. So just read what's written down here, that after logging in into your Pipedrive account, go to Settings, Personal Preferences, and that will take you to the API. So just go to the settings on the right top corner. Personal Preferences is the first option, and the third one is API. Now click on Generate a New Token. Why generating a new token when already one is present? Because you might not remember for what purpose you used the last token. In order to avoid any glitch, just generate a new token, copy this, and go back to Pabbly Connect to paste it over here. Click on Save, and your Pipedrive account will be connected to your Pabbly Connect. Now, because we are creating a person, it will ask you some basic details of the person whosoever is filling the form. Now, it is a very important step of the workflow that you have to do mapping of the information. What is mapping? Mapping is, this is the response we received from Typeform, and the response was captured by Pabbly Connect. Now, the purpose of this whole workflow is to transfer this information of Typeform directly to Pipedrive without any intermediator. Okay, so the intermediator basically is Pabbly Connect. So we have to give this information the right pathway that will take it to the correct place in Pipedrive in order to create a deal. So when you click on this blank box, it will ask you to insert data from the previous step. And why is that? Because you already have the response. So do not enter the data by your own, but remember to map it through this drop-down menu. So as soon as you click on this, it will provide you the whole list of responses, the same you received from Typeform. All right. So let's just scroll, or you can straight away enter. So it's here, demo user. Don't enter the detail manually. Remember to map it. Click on this, and this was the name. Now you don't need to enter first name and last name separately because that's not what you did in your Typeform, but it will detect the first and last name on its own. There was no phone number, but there was an email. So the email was this, and these are the only details you need to enter. In order to create a person's ID, what do you need? You just need a name and the email address. That's enough for now. Click on Save and Send Test Request and wait for the response. You can see the response is received. The name was demo user. See, it itself detected demo, the first name, and the user is last name. You go down, and here the email address is also present. One important thing was the data ID that we received. This data ID will be very helpful in connecting Typeform and Pipedrive. So you did this. So just remember to click on Save in order to save your workflow till now. Then you can see a plus sign in the middle. You have to click this to add another step to this workflow. Now comes the final step, that is creating a deal in Pipedrive. So you again choose the application as Pipedrive, and now the action event will be to create a deal. This is the final step. Click on Connect, because again you have to connect your Pipedrive account to Pabbly Connect. But remember, you've already connected your Pabbly Connect and Pipedrive account. You can click on Select Existing Connection, and this is your prior connection. So you just click on Save, and then it will automatically connect to your Pipedrive account. Now you have to fill in the details in the same manner, that is through mapping. Okay, but now that you have two steps, so like we click on the title, two options are coming over here because there were two steps, inserting data from previous steps. So we had two steps before this, the Typeform entry also, and the Pipedrive creating a person step as well. So the title was from the Typeform entry only. The name, you can see right here, definition title, click on that. Creation date is not very necessary, but because it is present over here, you can enter. You did not enter it manually, but at the time of submitting the Typeform, it was recorded automatically. So if you want, you can click on this. Then comes the person ID. Person ID was retrieved from the create a person step, and the data ID is going to be your personal ID only. The value was entered at which step? Typeform entry form. So the value of the deal was, we entered 50. Okay, so I guess all the information that we filled in our form has been recorded in order to create a deal in your Pipedrive account. This is done. So let's just click on save and send test request and wait for the response. Successfully, the response have been received. The first word is success, which proves that our workflow has been created successfully without any hurdle. See, the creator's name is there, and if you scroll down, the person whosoever is filling the form, his name, the email address, the data ID, the name of the form, the title, and the value. The date is also present over here. So this completes the whole workflow. Click on save and let's just verify. Go to your Pipedrive account and then click on deals. And here you can see the last deal that has been created is the name Pipedrive deals. Demo user was the name that we just used, and this is the email address we entered. So this is the whole deal that has been created, not manually, but through Pabbly Connect. And every time a person fills this form of the name Pipedrive deals will be entered over here, and a new deal will be created in such a manner only. Let us just try to fill another form and check if this workflow works in a successful way or not. Remember to save your workflow, go back to the form, and let's just enter a new name. Let us just call it with this name this time. The email will be this. The name of the organization will be the same. And the value of the deal, let's keep it 500 this time, and submit. This has been submitted. Let us go back to Pipedrive and let's check. See, this is the Pipedrive deal, the last created. Click on this and see. The name of the person is Ashirai, the email address is here, and all the details have been collected over here. So this proves that our workflow works successfully. So let us do a little recap of what we did. Let me just close all the tabs to make it easier for you to understand. So this was the whole workflow in 3 steps. The first was the trigger application, that was Typeform. So you gave the event as new entry. Like anybody who submitted a new form in Typeform will be forwarded to Pipedrive for creating a new deal. But before creating a deal, Pipedrive is supposed to have a person of that same ID. So our next step is going to be to create a person in Pipedrive. Then you created a person in Pipedrive. In this manner, you mapped the name and the email address of that specific person. Clicked on save and send test request, and then this response was received, with the important part being the data ID or the person ID. Then came the last step, that was the action step of creating a deal. The event was to create a deal. As soon as a person ID is created, this form comes and you have to map the details using the prior 2 steps, that was the Typeform entry and the Pipedrive creating a person. You mapped all the important information, clicked on save and send test request. This response was received and therefore the work was done. Do not forget to save the workflow. This was the whole video. I hope this helped.
In this video, we are going to see how to send emails for new Typeform entries. So every time you receive a new response to any submission in any of the form builder application, here we have taken the example of Typeform. So you want to send an email either to the admin or to the person who has just filled in this form. Now, how can you do that? For this, you will have to integrate the 2 applications. Here we have used Zoho Mail to send emails. Okay, so you have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be your form builder application and your action application would be Zoho Mail in this example. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes. And also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in. As I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. And now here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this work. Now here my objective is that every time a new response is received through Typeform responses, then automatically a mail should be sent to the admin talking about the issue or talking about the data that has been received through the response. So now I'm going to click on create. As I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, I have created a Typeform form where all the complaints can be registered. Let me show you the same. So this is my Typeform workspace and here there is a complaint register form. So if there is an issue with some technical, like if there are any technical issues or if there are any issues related to API, etc. So here you can provide the error name, then the description, then the due date, when do you want it to be sorted, email address of the person, the department and the mobile number. So I have created this form. And what I want is that every time this form is filled, then automatically the admin should receive a mail where he should be aware about the error. So now I'm going to go to Pabbly Connect and here I'm going to set my trigger application as Typeform. Let's click on this. And now the trigger event here would be new entry. So as we do that, I'm going to click on connect. And here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with Typeform account. Let's click on add new connection, connect with Typeform. So I've already logged into my Typeform account and here it is just asking me to confirm. So I accept, and as I do that, here you can see that the authorization has been successful. So once this is there, now here we have to select the form. So the name of my form is complaint register form. So once this is selected, let's click on save and send test request. And as I do that, now it is asking me to do a test submission in the application so that the response can be captured here. So now I'm going to take you to Typeform and this is the form that I have created. Now here you can see this published icon is not visible. Why? Because I am now going to make a little change. I'm going to duplicate this and delete. So basically every time you create a new form, automatically you will see this publish icon. So I click on this publish and I have received the link. As I copy this, open this in a new tab, so we would be able to find our form. So once our form is right here, I'm going to fill in this form. Let's say what is the name of your error? This is API error. Okay. Let's click on OK. Now the error description. So API not working. Then we have the due date. Let's say it is supposed to be treated by 15th of February. Then we have the email address of the person. So here I'm going to write demoUser@pabblytudes.com. Then the department. So let's say it is finance department. Okay. And finally the mobile number. So this here is the mobile number. So once we have filled this, I'm going to click on submit and here my form has been submitted, taking you to Pabbly Connect. Here you can see that we have received the API response. So let me show you the same. So first of all, this is the complaint register form. Then as I take you down, here you can see this is the phone number. Then we have the department. Then again, as I take you down, this here is the email address of the person. Here is the due date. And then we have the description and this is the name of our error. So as we have received this information, now what do I want? I want to send a mail through Zoho Mail to the admin. For this, I'm going to choose my action application as Zoho email. And now the action event here would be to send mail. Let's click on connect. As I do that, here again Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with Zoho mail account. Now I have already logged into my Zoho mail. I'm going to click on add new connection, connect with Zoho mail. And here we have to enter the domain name. So let me show you my Zoho email account. This is my Zoho email account. And here you can see it is zoho.com. So the domain name is zoho.com. So I'm just going to copy this from here, paste this over here and click on save. So as we do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to access the following information. I'm going to accept everything. And as I do that, here you can see that the authorization has been successful once again, which means that Zoho Mail is now connected with Pabbly Connect. Now the Zoho Mail's account ID has already been captured by the system. As I click on this, it is showing me the previous response, and here this is the email address of the person to whom I am going to. Now here I have got two options. Either I can send an email to the person who has registered the complaint telling him that yes, your complaint has been successfully registered. Or what I can do is I can send this mail to the admin telling them about the new response received through Typeform about this new error. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to the person telling him that his complaint has been successfully registered. So I'm going to here map the email address of the person, the user. Now the next thing is from. So here we have to map the email address of the person. So here as I take you to Zoho Mail, so you can see that it is for Ashmit's. Okay, so this here is the email address of the person. So now I am going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. So this is the from email address. This is not going to change. Next is subject. So here I'm going to tell the user that registered, complaint registered. Okay, so here I'm going to write complaint registered. Then the content type is HTML. Now the body. So I'm going to write, dear user, your complaint has been registered. Details. Now here I'm going to write the details. First of all, error name. Okay, so what is the error name? Let's go to step 1. So which is API. Okay, so this is the error name. Then we have got the description. So here we have API not working. Then we have the due date. Okay, so the due date here is this. Okay, regards. So this is just a confirmation mail that the complaint form that you have just filled has been registered. Now do you want to ask for the receipt? So I'm just going to leave this blank. I don't want this, and I'm going to click on save and send test request. So as we do that, here we can see that the description is success, which basically means that integration process is a success. Now I'm going to take you to the email address of the person to see if we have received an email. Let's quickly refresh this page. And yes, here you can see that we have received an email. Dear user, your complaint has been registered. Details. This is the error name, API description. This is the description. This is the due date and regards. This basically means that our integration process is a success, but we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to take you back to Typeform, and here I am going to let's say the error here is, I'm going to write test error. Okay, this is just a test application. This is just a test run. Again, here the description is test description, and then we have the due date. So let's say this is February and the day is 18th Feb 2023. So next we have the email address of the person. So let's say it is test@pabblytudes.com. Then we have the department. Let's say it's HR department, and finally the mobile number. So here is the mobile number. So once this is done, I'm going to click on submit. Now, as soon as this has been submitted, what should happen? So automatically a mail should be received by the person who has just filled in this form. So let's go and check the email address of the person now. And yes, here you can see that we have received a mail. Dear user, your complaint has been registered. Here we have the details. This basically means that our integration process is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have. So here our trigger application is Typeform, where the event is new entry, and our action application is Zoho Mail, where the event is send email. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Hello everyone, today we will learn how to create or update HubSpot contacts from new entries on Typeform. Now Typeform, that is a form builder application, and you receive form submissions on Typeform, so you want that information should be collected in HubSpot and a new contact should be created. But this cannot happen automatically because both of these applications do not have a direct connection between them. But I will tell you that we can automate this process with the help of Pabbly Connect. We will create an integration where our trigger will be a response received in our Typeform and our action will be a created contact in HubSpot. Let us learn how to do it.
So let us learn that how can you integrate or connect Typeform and HubSpot in such a way that whenever somebody fills this form that has been created by you using the form builder application Typeform, so this information will be utilized in creating a new contact in your HubSpot CRM. We will do this with the help of Pabbly. Here you can see this is the landing page of Pabbly, and you can sign in to your account from the right hand side and then sign in with Google, and then you will be logged in this account where you can see the applications provided to you to create automations by Pabbly. We are going to use Pabbly Connect to create today's automation. Click on Access Now and then you will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Reaching here, you can see a big blue button on the right hand side where it's written Create Workflow. Click on that and then give a suitable name to your workflow. I'm going to name it as Create HubSpot Contacts from Typeform Entries. Okay, click on Create. And then a blank workflow will be created for you. Like you can see on the screen, there are two boxes. One has trigger written over it and the other has action. Now what are both of these things? Trigger is when this happens and action is do this, which means that whenever a trigger takes place in your chosen application over here, then it will move ahead to the action application and an action will be performed whatever you're going to assign. So our trigger application today is Typeform because the entries that will be used to create a HubSpot contact will be taken from the submission that you will receive from Typeform. And the event is going to be a new entry, which means when Typeform will be triggered with a new entry or new submission of any form, then this workflow will proceed. Click on Connect, add new connection and connect with Typeform. It will automatically detect the presence of an account and then you just have to give access by clicking on Accept. Like we did, and see the authorization is successful. It will automatically detect forms, or you will find the whole list of the forms that you have created. Like this is the form that I am going to use and the name of my form is General Survey. So first of all, choose the form name correct. This is the form that you want to select or capture the responses for. Then publish it. Copy this link and I'm going to open this link in a new tab right here so that I can fill this form. And that entry will be captured in Pabbly Connect. So click on Save and Send Test Request. And as soon as you do that, Pabbly Connect will start waiting for a response. So you have to go to this form and fill in the details. So I'm going to fill in the details as Irene is the first name, then the last name, then the phone number, and then your email address, and the birth date of that contact. So I will be entering. Remember to follow the correct format. Okay. So we have entered all the details and now we have submitted. So just come back to Pabbly Connect to check that have you received a response. It will be here in 2-3 seconds more and see the response is already here. It will have all the questions, the name of the form, then the questions, okay, the format, like please enter your email address. So the email has to be entered. First of all, it will have all the questions, then you will have the answers like the phone number is here and then we have the email address and the name of the person also is here. See. Like this, we have all the details. So which means that whatever we entered in that form was captured by Pabbly Connect right here. So now what is left? Our next step and the final destination is going to be transferring this information to HubSpot. So select your action application as HubSpot CRM and the event will be to create a contact. Okay, the action that we have chosen over here, that is create a contact, which means that HubSpot CRM will create a contact in the account using the information that we have received from Typeform. So first of all, we will connect our HubSpot account, click on add new connection, connect with HubSpot CRM, choose your account from here, and then it will be allowed and the authorization is successful. So now your Pabbly Connect and HubSpot is also connected. So now you have to enter some of the details that you will require to create a contact. Like whenever you are here in any of the application and you create a contact, create a customer, or do any new thing, it provides you a form where you have to fill in certain details of that specific person. So in the same way, you have to fill in those details that are required by you or your case over here in your Pabbly Connect. So we will be doing that. Now remember that what all information we had in the form that we created, okay, and those informations are only supposed to be filled. So like date of birth was there, so you can map it. Now what is mapping? Mapping is actually creating a pathway between your trigger and your action step. And how are you going to do that? You actually insert the data from the previous step. Mapping is always done in the direction of up to down, which means from trigger to action step. So you have to insert the data from the previous step. Our previous step was Typeform. So now Typeform, you don't have to copy it from this response, but you will just map it. And how are we going to map it? Just open this drop down menu and you will have the details of all the information. What are you going to enter where? So whenever you click on any empty field like this, like you have to enter the date of birth. So click on this search and map data and you can enter some of the hint that will take you to the response, and see this was the date of birth. Now you come down to the field that you want to fill for your specific contact and you will find the first name. So in the case of first name, you will just enter some hint and here is the first name. Then you have the last name. Enter accordingly. This was the last name. Then we had the email address. So I'll give you a hint that just type @ and you will straight away find email address. Then we had the phone number. So enter the phone number and this is the phone number. So we have entered all important fields. Just make sure that if there is any field where required is written over it, then you have to fill that one because that will be the mandatory field. Otherwise, just click on save and send test request and a response will be received. Whenever you receive a response from your action application, always check for errors. If there is any error, so you can correct it then and there. Okay, but if it does not show any error, which means that yes, our workflow has worked properly. So first of all, save your work so that it starts working. And then we'll go back to our HubSpot and see that yes, a new contact has been created like this. This is the name, email address, phone number, and the date of birth is also here. Our workflow that is created has worked properly. So let's do a quick recap of the whole workflow. So let's close this windows. So in order to create HubSpot contacts from Typeform entries, we created an automation where our trigger application was Typeform. We created a form, filled the form, and then our response was captured over here like this. And then further, we had our action step as HubSpot CRM where we selected our action event as create a contact. Then we connected both the accounts, filled in the details, clicked on save and send test request, and again we received a response like this. Because there was no error, we clicked on save to save our workflow and checked in our HubSpot contact that yes, a response has been received like this, which means that our workflow was successful. So this was the whole video. I hope this helped.
Hey there, welcome back to our new video on how to collect employee benefit requests automatically. Guys, if you want your company to be employee-centric, then you need to make sure that people are heard, especially when it comes to their benefits and how valued they feel at work. However, asking your employees to email their benefit request to HR is a daunting task. And in the process, the chances are a bunch of the requests might slip through the cracks and your employees feel overlooked. So I am here with the automation for you by which you can collect the employee requests automatically. Here we are going to create a form using Typeform by which your employees can submit their request and all those requests will be automatically placed in Airtable and a Slack message will be automatically delivered to the person who are handling those requests. And all is going to happen without any coding, super simply using Pabbly Connect. So without any further ado, let's start. To set up this automation, we are using Pabbly Connect, which is an automation and integration tool. And this is the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to paste the same link in the description. And you can sign up for free from here, and you will get free automation tasks every month to test and set up your automation. So you can just sign up right now. After that, sign in and select Pabbly Connect product, and you will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. And from here, guys, you have to click on this Create Workflow button to set up your workflow. Here you can give a suitable name to your workflow as well. So I'm giving the name here. So I have given the name like this, Employee Benefit Request Automation. After giving such names, just click on Create button and your workflow page will load up like this. And on this page, guys, you will find these two modules, the trigger and the action. So these are the basic building blocks of our automation. Trigger starts the workflow and the action performs any automated action. Okay. In our use case, we are going to receive the employee benefit request via a form which we have created in Typeform application. So here, when you click on trigger, it will ask to choose the trigger application. So we are going to choose Typeform. Okay. Because we have created the form here. Then we select the trigger event as new entry. Then click on connect button. From here, select add new connection. Then click on connect with Typeform. Alright, so it will bring you to this window. From here, you have to provide some access to your account. So just click on accept from this window and you will be connected with Typeform. You can see the authorization is successful and we are now connected. And here, it will show you the list of the forms that you have created in Typeform. So this is the form I have created for getting the employee benefit request. So this is the form's name. So I'm going to select the form's name here. Okay. Then click on save and send test request button and it will start showing waiting for the response. This means now we can perform a test submission. Test submission means now we are going to fill the form manually on behalf of any demo or a test employee, and the response of that form submission will be captured here, and with the help of that data only we are going to move forward in the automation. So let me just open the form. Here you will find the shareable link of the form by clicking on share. Okay, so this is the form's link. You can copy the link and open it in a new tab like this. And from here, let us fill the form. So here I'm going to click on submit request and here it will ask for the name of the employee. So I'm going to put the name as demo employee. Okay. This is the email address. Employee number. Department. Request. Here you can provide the request that your employee want. So I am providing a request as, okay, so it can be any kind of request. I'm just showing you a demo, so I've just put it here as AC installation and I'm submitting the request. That's how you can provide you can get the employee's request, benefit request. Okay, and here you can see the response got captured here in this section like this in your workflow. Here you can see the details that you have received from the Typeform's form submission. Alright, so here you can see we got the answers asked in the questions, the email address, alright, and the name of the employee. So everything got captured here. Now I want to send this data in Airtable. So this is my Airtable space. Here I want to add the name, the request, the email address and the employee number automatically. For that to happen, I'm going to connect Airtable here in this action step. So search for Airtable. Okay. Then select the action event as create record. Then click on connect button. From here select add new connection. And here it will ask for the token or the API key of Airtable. So you'll get the key from the developer hub section of Airtable, and from here you have to click on create new token button, add name. So let's just follow the steps written here. If you're logged in Airtable, you can just directly click on developer hub word and you will reach the developer section. And here guys, you can create a new token by clicking on create new token button. Here you can give a name to the token. You can give any name. Okay, then you have to select the scopes, so click on add a scope button, and here you can read in the instructions how many scopes you have to select. You have to select data record read, data record write, comment writes, schema based read. Okay, so these are the things that you have select. So let me select the scopes. So you can see I have added all these scopes. By clicking on add a scope button, you can select the scopes like this. Okay, then here you have to provide the access to the base in which you want to add the data. So click on add a base button, and here I am selecting all the current and future bases. Okay, all workspaces. Okay, right, as per the instructions I have selected all workspaces. Okay, now guys, click on create token button, and this is the token. Just click on copy from here and paste this token here like this, and then click on save, and you will be connected with Airtable. And after getting connected, it will ask for the base where you want to save the data. So this is my base, you can see in Airtable, named as employee benefit request. Okay, so here when you click, it will show you the list of all the bases that you have. From here, search for the name of the base in which you want to send the data. All right, then you have to select the table ID. So I have only one table here named as table 1, so it is auto populated here. Then it will start asking for the name, request, email address, employee number. These are the headers of the column I have in the Airtable space. So to fill the data here in these headers, you need to map the values of these things here in the workflow. So to map the fields, we are going to use this data that we have received as the test data from Typeform. So for the name, you just have to click here, and you can see the previous step is appearing here in the drop down, and when you click on it, you will get the data right here only. So from here, you have to just search for the label in which you got the name of the person. So when you scroll down, you will find this response answer 0 text label. Here you will find the name demo employee. Just click on it to map it. Similarly, you will find the request in the answers label. These are the answers label. You can see here we have this answer 4 label in which we have the request. Map it like this. Similarly, map the email address from the answers label only. So this is how you can map the labels, and here you can select typecasting, enable or disable as you want. Okay, now you can check your connection with Airtable by clicking on save and send test request button, and this data that you have mapped here will be sent to Airtable in a row. Okay, let us check the connection. I am clicking on save and send test request button, and this is the response we have received, you can see. And let's check in our table if we got the data added. So let me refresh this table, and here you can see we have received the data right here in front of you. Demo employee, AC installation is the request, the email and the employee number. Okay, now after saving this request, I want to send a Slack message to the person who is handling the request. So just click on this plus icon to add one more action step, and in this action step, search for Slack application. All right, then select the application and select the action event as send direct message without image. Send direct message. Okay, now click on connect button. From here, select add new connection, and then click on connect with Slack, and here it will ask for the token type to connect with Slack. So we have two token types here, user and bot, and both of the token types have different kind of access permissions to Slack. So you can read about that from this here word written in blue, and you will reach the forum page of Pabbly. Here you can see when you use user, you will get these permissions. When you use bot, you will get these permissions. So right now I'm using user as the token type. You can use an as per your requirement. Okay, after that you have to select the spaces name in which your team is communicating. So I'm selecting the space name. Then you have to provide these additional access to your spaces. Just click on allow from here so that you will be connected with Pabbly Connect. Okay, so the Slack is now connected here, and here you can select the user. Here you can specify the user to receive this message from the Slack bot. So here you can see this is my Slack application, and here is a user. Dummy is the name, and this person is handling the request from employees. Okay, so I'm going to select this person from here. Okay, select the message type as plain text or markdown. I'm selecting plain text. Here you can provide a message that you want to send. So I'm providing the message as hello. So I have typed the message as this: hello, we have received a new employee benefit request from Typeform. Okay, and these are the details. So I want to provide these details to the person who are handling the request. So I'm going to map the details from the form submission we have received. So just click in the message in front of the name, and from the Typeform just search for the name. Okay, and map it. So here you will find the name like this. Just map the name. Similarly, map all other things in the message. Alright, so I have mapped the required details here, and here by clicking on save and send test request button, you can check your connection with Slack. So this is Slack actually. Okay, so here let's check our connection. I am clicking on save and send test request button, and this message will be delivered to this dummy user. Okay, let's check the message, and here you can see, guys, we have received the message. It is showing hello, we have received a new employee benefit request from Typeform. The details are these: demo employee, this is the details. Okay, now the person can work on the request. And guys, we are done setting up this automation, and you have to set up it only once. After that, you do not have to do anything manually in the workflow. After that, it will work automatically. Whenever any employee is going to fill your request form, the details of that employee will be saved in Airtable, and a message will be delivered to the person who is handling the request in Slack automatically. And guys, you can use this workflow as well, as I'm going to paste the link in the description, and you can clone this workflow in your own free Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation.
In this video, I'm going to select an instruction from the drop-down of this form, and after the selection, you will see a content will be generated automatically based on my instruction, and the same content will be even shared automatically in one of my Slack channel with the team. Okay, so let me first select an instruction in front of you. Okay, so I have selected write a blog on, and here I will share a topic. Okay, let me submit this form and refresh this particular Slack channel and wait for that content to be generated, wait for that content to be shared with my Slack channel. Okay, I'll have to refresh it. Alright, here you can see the content has got generated and the messages also arrived. Let me read it. Hello team, I have just created a content using OpenAI. Instruction was to write a blog. Here is the title, best places to visit in India in April month. Here you can see it is the same title, and here we have the content. Okay, April is one of the best months to visit in India. With its pleasant weather and lush green hills, it is perfect time for a holiday. And here you can see it has also shared some of the places to visit. Okay, now isn't that amazing that within a single click my task is completed? Now you must be thinking that how did I manage to generate this content? How did I manage to share this particular message in my Slack channel? So basically, for the content generation part, I have used this OpenAI application, and then I have built a connection in this Typeform form builder software, in this OpenAI software which is for content generation, and finally the Slack application. And how I have connected these three applications? With the help of Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing integration and automation software, and I am an existing user of Pabbly Connect. So here you can see I'm already already logged in. You can also create your free account in just 2 minutes from this sign up free button, and in the free account you will also get free tasks to test this automation. Now once you will reach to the dashboard, simply click on this blue button that is create workflow and provide any random name to your workflow, to your automation. Okay, so I'm going to provide the name something like automate the content generation and content sharing via, or you can say on form submission. Okay, I'm providing this particular name. Now simply click on create, and then you will find 2 boxes in front of you. So these are trigger and action. So here trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So whenever this happens, then automatically do this. Understand with an example also. Whenever a sale happen in a payment gateway application, then automatically send an email via Gmail application. Okay, so this is how you need to always select the application in which you are building an automation. Okay, according to our use case, firstly I'm going to select this Typeform form submission because I want that every time I select an option via this form, the content should be generated automatically using OpenAI application. So that is why in the action I'm selecting this application, and the same content should be shared on Slack channel. So that is why further I am going to select this Slack application. Okay, so this is how you need to always select the applications in which you are building an automation. Okay, now firstly I am going to connect these 3 applications one by one with the Pabbly Connect. Okay, so firstly select this trigger event. So I want that whenever a new entry is made in this Typeform form builder software, this automation should trigger, or you can say this automation should capture the details of the form. Okay, so simply click on this connect with the Typeform and provide the access of your Typeform application. Okay, well I'm already logged in into my Typeform application, so instead of asking me for the credential, it is directly asking me for the permission. Okay, so I have accepted that, and here you can see the authorization is successful and Typeform is now connected with the Pabbly Connect. Now here you can see whatever the forms are available inside my account have started visible here. Well, currently I just have a single form only, that is task assigning form, so that is why only single form is visible here. I can close this window. Okay, and now I am going to click on this button save and send test request, and you can see it has started waiting for the response. Now read the instructions that once you have clicked over the save and send test request button, do a test submission record in that application in order to capture the response here. So basically it is asking to do a test submission or record, and here the test submission means making of a new entry into your form. Okay, so here you can see I have created this form, that is the task assigning form. Okay, let me edit this form. Alright, so you can see I have added 4 fields. One is for which task you would like to perform, please select. Okay, and in this particular case I have provided 3 choices, that is write a blog, write an email and write a description. Okay, and I have also applied the conditional logic here. So if person is going to select this particular field, it will directly jump to this particular section, that is write a blog on, and from here exactly you can provide your title of the blog, or you can provide the subject of your email, or you can provide the topic for your YouTube video. Okay, so this is how I have created this form and have applied different logics into this form. Okay, so let me click on this share and let me show you this particular form. Okay, so I have clicked on share and then I'm going to copy the link of this particular form. Okay, alright, so this is my form, and as I have told you, Pabbly Connect is still waiting for that form submission. Okay, so let me make a dummy submission here, just a random. Okay, so this time I am going to select this write a blog as an instruction. Okay, doesn't matter, you can select any of the options. Now it is asking that write a blog on which particular topic. Okay, so how about I write something like best places to visit in Manali. Okay, and let me submit this form. Come back to Pabbly Connect and wait for that response to receive. And here you can see the response is received. Let me show you the details one by one. Okay, so here we have the date and time of the submission. Okay, let me also show you other details. Here we have the name of the form, the title of the form. Okay, so we have several options into the drop down. Here we have the write a blog on. Okay, basically this is the option which we have selected. Here we have the
first field of the form, and this is how I have all the data. Okay, and the presence of this data clearly shows that the connection in between our Typeform and Pabbly Connect is working absolutely fine. Okay, now I am going to send this data to OpenAI application so that I can generate a content automatically on which particular title, basically the title which I have provided via the form submission, that is write a blog on which topic, that is best places to visit in Manali. Okay, so let me first connect to OpenAI with Pabbly Connect, just like I have connected Typeform and Pabbly Connect. Okay, so in the action event, firstly I'll go with this generate content, then I'm going to click on connect, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. Okay, so here you can directly click on this hyperlink and it will directly take you to that specific page. Okay, so now before I generate this code and provide it here, let me first show you how you can reach to the website of OpenAI. Okay, so you will have to type openai.com in your browser, and this is how you can reach out to the website of OpenAI. Now simply create an account here, and once you will create an account, you will reach to the overview page. After that, you'll have to visit this playground section. Okay, well, as the name suggests, we are actually going to play with the content. Okay, so whatever the instruction you are going to provide here and click on this button submit, it will respond you back with a content. Okay, so let me even show you with an example. Okay, write a story on dog and then click on submit and wait for that story to be generated, and here you can see it has already started writing a story, something like once upon a time there was a little girl named Sarah. She had always wanted a pet dog, but her parents had never wanted to get her one. Okay, so here you can notice that how this OpenAI application has generated the content automatically. Okay, and let me show you some basic settings of this particular application. Okay, so first one is the mode. Okay, so you can select any mode here. I have selected this complete mode. Second one is the model. Okay, so based on which particular column you would like to start generating the content. Okay, and you can read the instructions as per the model. Okay, so I'm going to use this text the Vinci 003 model in order to generate the content, asking for the temperature maximum length. Okay, so again read the instructions. So this temperature basically controls the randomness. Okay, you can even read the instructions that lowering the results in less random completion. As the temperature approaches to 0, the model will become more deterministic and repetitive. So basically you'll have to provide some value in order to generate a unique content. Now let's jump to the maximum length, basically the maximum number of tokens to generate. Okay, and one token is roughly equal to, let me show you, it is saying, you can read the last line, one token is roughly 4 characters for normal English text. So basically in this way you can decide the length of your content. Okay, stop sequence, enter the sequence and press tab. Okay, so up to 4 sequences where the API will stop generating for the content. Okay, so let's say you have provided some instruction here, something like write a reply for a comment, and if you will start providing your comment here. Okay, after that comment section you can provide the stop sequence. So let's say I have decided this particular sequence for the stop sequence. Okay, let me first add it, then after that, okay, let me first copy it. Okay, and after that nice video. Okay, so assume that I have provided this particular instruction, after that I can use this stop sequence. Okay, so this is how one by one you can read these instructions and do the settings. But why I am showing you these settings, because the same settings we will have to do into our Pabbly Connect also. Okay, so I have given you a basic idea of these settings. Now apart from the stop sequences, we further have 5 to 6 more settings. Okay, so you can again read the instructions, and let me tell you about this best of. Well, this is something via which you can decide that what number of copies should be generated for a single content, and among those copies best of which particular copy should be fetched out. Okay, you can even read the instructions. It generates a multiple completion server side and displays only the best. Okay, so let's say you have provided best of 3, so it is going to generate 3 copies for that content and then give you the result of the best copy. Okay, so this is how you can read these instructions and understand the setting. Okay, so let me go back to the API page and let me first generate a new token. Okay, so I have generated it, copied it, come back to Pabbly Pabbly Connect, paste it and click on save, and this is how you can connect your OpenAI application with the Pabbly Connect. Now here you can see these are the same settings. Okay, as I have told you, it was asking me to select the model name, that is text the Vinci 003. So I'm going to select the same model here also, that is text the Vinci 003. Okay, it is also asking for the maximum number of tokens. Again, it is the same value via which you can decide the length of your content. Okay, so firstly let me provide a prompt. Okay, so what is this prompt? So let me again take you to the OpenAI's dashboard, and if I will click on this view code button, you will able to notice that prompt, that is write a reply for a comment. Okay, so whatever the data I am going to provide in this particular prompt, basically whatever the instructions I am going to provide here will considered as a prompt. Okay, so I want to provide an instruction, which I have provided via the form submission, and in this form submission, which instruction I have provided? Okay, so I have provided the instruction to write a blog on this particular topic. So I am going to add these two values in that specific field. Okay, so where is our answer? Write a blog on which topic? In this best places to visit in Manali. So I'm going to map these two details. Alright, so you will have to map this particular instruction, that is form response definition fields 1 title, because we have received this particular thing as a response. We have selected the same instruction via the form submission at the time of form submission. Okay, so here I'm going to map this data, and mapping is very simple. When you will click on this field, you will find the above data here in the drop down. Simply search for that specific data. Alright, so I have searched for the instruction, and then I am going to add the name of the title. Okay, it was best places to visit in Manali. This is the search bar. Okay, so I have provided the instruction that write a blog on best places to visit in Manali. Asking for the tokens, well, I am going to leave all these fields blank, and it will automatically take the default value. Here you can see default value, it is going to take these values automatically. Okay, best of value I will keep it as 1 only. Okay, now I am going to click on this button in front of you, and you will see how the content will be generated on the same topic which we have just provided into our prompt as a prompt. Okay, so under this choices 0 text, you can read the content. Okay, Manali is a popular hill station in India and a perfect destination for couples, backpackers and families alike. Okay, it is situated into the Kulu Valley of Himachal Pradesh and is known for its spectacular natural beauty. Okay, so this is the content, and it has also shared some of the amazing places idea. Okay, so this is how you can generate the content within Pabbly Connect with the help of automation. And now I am going to share this content with my team on Slack channel. Okay, so I have already selected the application. Now I am going to select the action event as send channel message, and again I am going to connect Slack with the Pabbly Connect, just like I have connected the above two applications with the Pabbly Connect. Asking for user or the bot, so you can read the difference in between user and bot. Okay, so if you want to send the channel message, which particular thing here I'll have to provide. Okay, so here you can see if I will select the user, it will provide me these permissions, and if I will select this bot, it is going to provide me these permission. Okay, so here also I have the permission of send channel message. So how about I go with this user only? Okay, come back to Pabbly Connect, copy this user, paste it here, and then click on save, and this is how your Slack will be connected. And now it is going to ask you for the permission, since I am already logged in into my Slack account. Alright, so click on allow, and the authorization is successful, and my Slack account will be connected with Pabbly Connect. Alright, it is connected. Now since we are connected, it is showing me the channels. Okay, so whatever the channels are available inside my Slack account have started visible here. Okay, and I'm going to select this particular channel, that is announcements, since I would like to share all the messages into this channel only. Okay, so let me search for this announcement channel.
All right, here we have this channel. Okay, I can close this section also and this section also, and I think I can close this form also. Okay, now finally it is asking for the message to be composed here. Okay, well, I have already created a very short and a nice message into my notepad so that I can save a time and show you things very quickly. Okay, so I want that this particular message should get sent automatically. Along with this, I am also going to share that content, okay, which I have just generated into my previous step. Okay, so hello team, I have just created a content using OpenAI. Instruction was, okay, so what was the instruction? And here exactly I'm going to provide the instruction. And as I have told you, we can provide the data of our previous step with the help of mapping. Okay, so I'm going to open this particular step and then I'm going to provide the instruction, and my instruction was write a blog. Okay, so I have mapped the instruction as well. Here is the title and its content. Okay, so here I am going to add the title as well. And let me show you, if you would like to do the formatting to your message, you can check this particular documentation, and for the bold I can show you, you just need to add this asterisk sign. Okay, that is the star sign. Okay, and in this way you can bold your things. I would also like to bold this. Here is the title, and here I'm going to provide the title. Well, the title was best places to visit Manali. Okay, so I have also mapped the title. Now you must be thinking that what is this mapping all about, which I am doing here. Okay, so whatever the details we are mapping here, these details will automatically be replaced when this automation will work in real time, and whatever the details I'm providing here manually, these details will remain same. Okay, so that is why I am mapping the important things. So assume that in the next time I'm selecting the instruction as write an email. So in that case, this particular value will be replaced with that new instruction, and the title, the subject line will be also replaced. Basically, this title will be replaced with that subject line. Okay, so this is how mapping is going to take place and the automation is going to take place. Okay, and here I will map the content. Okay, and remember, we have received the content from this OpenAI under this choices 0 text. So I have mapped the content, and last line will be this. Okay, so let me now show you the whole message. Hello team, I have just created a content using OpenAI. Instruction was this. Here is the title, content. Okay, and lastly I am adding this line, that is kindly review the content and pass it to the respective team. Okay, thanks, your manager. Okay, so I have composed this message. Now it is asking for the image URL, image alt text, the bot name, the bot icon. Well, again, it is completely up to you. If you would like to share any image URL, you can add the same, provide its alt text, bot name, bot icon. So how about I provide any random bot name, something like the sample bot, and now I am going to directly click on this button save and send test request, because I'm really excited to receive that automatic message on my Slack channel. Alright, so the message is received. Basically, the response is received. Let me go back to my Slack channel, and here let us check the message. And here the message is also received. It is the same title, that is best places to visit in Manali. Okay, hello team, I have just created a content using OpenAI. Instruction was write a blog on. Now why it has not supported the formatting, basically the bold, I'll have to check. I think I have provided extra spaces in this asterisk. Okay, so let me remove the same first. Alright, so this time I have received the message along with the formatting, along with the board as well, and yes, it was because of those extra spaces only. Okay, so hello team, I have just created a content using OpenAI. Instruction was write a blog on. Here's the title, best places to visit in Manali. Content, Manali is a popular hill station in India, and here we have those suggestions as well. Thanks, your manager. Okay, so this is how now onwards you can entirely automate your content creation part. Okay, so let's say you want to generate the content for blog, you want to generate emails, you want to generate the descriptions, or you want to generate any kind of content. You can take those values in this particular form, basically in the drop down of that form. Whatever the task you would like to perform, you can take those values into this drop down, and then you can build a connection in between your Typeform form builder software, in between OpenAI, and in between Slack with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now in order to automate this process, you need to create this automation inside Pabbly Connect just once. After that, you can simply close Pabbly Connect. You can sit back and relax because Pabbly Connect will take care of all the tasks in the backend. You do not have to do anything manually. And just in case if you want to access this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach the shareable link of my workflow into the description box. Simply click on this link, sign up into the Pabbly Connect, and then you will be able to access this workflow, this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free.
Hello everyone, today we will learn how to create WordPress post from new Typeform responses. So if you have created a form using the form builder application Typeform and all the responses that you have been receiving, you want to use them to create a WordPress post, then don't do it again and again manually, but in fact you can create an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. In this integration, our trigger will be the response received from Typeform and our action will be to create a post in WordPress. Let us learn how to do that.
So if you want to create a post in your WordPress website using any form submission, so this time we are going to learn to create automation with the help of Pabbly, where we can integrate our Typeform and our WordPress in such a way that I have created this specific form over here and we will be filling this form, and the entry from this form will reach WordPress as a newly created post. So let us quickly sign in into our Pabbly account, so that I will reach this place where I can see all the applications provided by Pabbly. We are going to use Pabbly Connect for this automation. Let us create an access now. And then you will see a big blue button on your right side where it's written Create Workflow on the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Click on the button and give a suitable name to your workflow. Create WordPress post from Typeform entries. Click on Create, and then a blank workflow will be created for you right here. You can see on your screen a trigger and action boxes over here. The trigger says when this happens and action says do this. So whichever is going to be your trigger application, an event will take place in that application that will be called the trigger. And once it triggers the application, action application will make sure to perform the assigned action. For this workflow, our trigger application is Typeform, because once the form is submitted and then the action application will be WordPress where the post will be created. So the event is going to be new entry. If you have opened your Typeform account right here like this, so Pabbly Connect will automatically detect. You just have to give access by clicking on connect, then add new connection, connect with Typeform, and then it will automatically detect. Just click on accept. This is how you give access to Pabbly Connect to capture the responses received from that specific form. Now you have to select the form. There might be many forms created, like you can see over here, the list is here. My form is the form I am right now working upon. Now I will click on save and send test request, but before that, let us quickly copy the link of this form and then paste it in a new tab so that you are able to fill up the form. This is the link, I have copied it, and now I will paste it. See, this is the form that has opened. Let us click on save and send test request and then go to the form and fill the form. I'm going to fill it with the name demo user. My reason is, this is my reason of this query, and the query is and this is my query that I have explained over here. Click on OK, and then I have to enter my email address. And this is my email address. As soon as I click on submit, I have submitted this form. I'll go to Pabbly Connect and wait for the response like this. And here you can see right in front of you, we have received the response. In the response, you will be having all the details, like see, this is the description that we wrote. This is the email address. Then we have the title also and the name of the person also, which means that response from the trigger application has been captured. Now it's turn for the action application to perform the assigned action. So the application is WordPress and the event is to create a post. Click on connect and then add new connection. Now you have to enter the WordPress username or email address, whichever you want, WordPress password and base URL. Now for 2 minutes, we just have to ignore base URL because we have to first enter the username and password. So let us do that. This is my username and the password is. Now we come to base URL. So what is this base URL? It is this part of the URL Like this is your WordPress account. So you have to enter from HTTPS to WP3 and not include admin or login if you had that. Okay, so you have to read this instruction given over here and accordingly copy it. So let us copy it till WP3 copied, and now we'll paste it right here. Once this is done, click on save and the accounts are connected. Now you have to select the post type, the title, content, which means the general details that are you supposed to fill whenever you are creating a post. So you are doing it in the form of this workflow. So what is it? It is a type of post that you want to create. Then what is the title? The title is the query. So what was the title of the query? This was it. Okay, you can also write by a small hyphen and then give the name also. So right here we can write it in the search and map data to search for the data that you're looking for rather than going through the list of all the content. Now what is the post content? So this is the list where you are given all the responses that you have received from your trigger application. Either you can scroll like this, like you have found by scrolling. But if it is a very long list, you can just simply type in the search and map data and you will get to your content that you're looking for. Nothing else is required. Status is published. Yes, it has to be published. The ping status is open. Comment status is also open. If you want to change the author, I have changed it to the admin. Once this is done, just go to click save and send test request and wait for the response from WordPress. WordPress usually takes 2-3 more minutes as compared to other applications. So you have to give it a little more time. And here we have the response. See, you can see these are the links to the post that has been created using the details that we just entered. Save this part. And then we will go to our WordPress to check if we have created a post or not. All post from post in the left side panel and see expired products over here we have. It's public, admin, and it's published right now. Which means that our workflow has been a success. So our trigger application was Typeform. We created a form and filled the form. So the details of the submission of the form were used to create a WordPress post. Now every time a new person or a new registration is done through this form, then you don't have to create a post for that form entry separately. It will be automatically done once this workflow has been set up. So this was the whole video. I hope this helped.
Hello everyone, today we will learn how to create Google contacts from Typeform responses. So here is no worry to create again and again Google contacts, because you can just create a form using the form builder application Typeform, and every time the form is built, you will get a new Google contact created automatically using this automation that you will be creating using Pabbly Connect. In this automation, our trigger will be the submission received from the Typeform and our action will be creating a contact in Google Contacts. Let us learn how to do that.
So let us create this integration that every time you want a new Google contact to be added, what you can do is just share the link of this type form that I have created, or you can create your own form and then like this, publishing. And once you publish, it will give you a link, open the link in a new tab, and then whosoever fills up the form, that contact will be automatically added in your Google contact. And this can be done by creating an automation. So let us quickly sign in into our automation software, that is Pabbly, so that I will reach this place where I can see all the applications provided to you by Pabbly. And we are going to use Pabbly Connect that's given over here. Click on Access Now, and then you will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Reaching here, you can see a big blue button on your right side where it's written Create Workflow. Click on the button and give a suitable name to your workflow. I'm going to name it as Create Google Contacts from Typeform Responses. Click on Create, and then a blank workflow will be created for you. Here you can see Trigger and Action, 2 windows. Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this, which means that whenever a trigger will take place in this specific application, it will make sure that the action application performs the assigned action. Like here, our trigger is going to be Typeform, because once the form will be filled, so the form filling and the submission of the form is going to be the trigger event, that is new entry of the form, and the action will be Google Contacts and the event will be to create a new Google contact. So first of all, connect Typeform and Pabbly Connect so that Pabbly Connect receives the information of every form that will be submitted. So click on Add New Connection, connect with Typeform, it will automatically detect your Typeform account. You just have to click on accept to give access to Pabbly Connect. Once this is done, authorization is successful, and then you will receive here the list of all the forms that you might have created in your Typeform account. I am going to use request form. It is already selected, but if you click on the drop down menu, you will get the list of all the forms. Request form is the form that will be filled for this specific workflow. Click on save and send test request. It will start waiting for a response. So you just have to go back to this place where you have opened the form link and then fill in the details. Like I'm going to fill my name over here. This is my name, the birth date. So the month and date and then year is the format. So the month is 12th, the date is 11 and the year is this. This is the birth date. Okay, email address. Then we have the address. Okay, this is the address and the contact number. This is my contact number. I'll click on submit and the form has been submitted now. When I go back to Pabbly Connect, you see that we have received a response. First of all, the name of the form is here, address, email address. So all the questions will appear first and then we have contact number, address, email address, the birth date and the name of the contact, which means that we have received the Typeform entry successfully. Now we need to add one step over here between the trigger and action step that is going to split the birth date into 3 different parts, that is month, date and year, because that is how Google Contact needs it. So we will choose our first action application as text formatter. Now text formatter is a feature that is built inside Pabbly itself. The event over here is going to be split text because we are going to separate. Connection is not a difficult task because it is built inside Pabbly, so it will automatically connect. Now we just need to map the text that we need to split. So you click on the blank space and it will ask you to insert data from the previous step. Here they have given you the drop down menu for all the responses you have received in your previous step, that is Typeform, new entry. So you will just search from here. Either you scroll down to the end, or what you can do is write in this search and map data, like this was the year. So yeah, here we have the date. In the search and map data, you can type any hint of the content you are looking for. So this one you want to split. The separator is going to be the hyphen between all of these because year, month and date are separated with the hyphen. So I will put hyphen as the separator, and I want what segment? I want all the segments. I want the year, month, date, all segments of the splitted text. Click on save and send test request and the response will be very clear. Year, month and date is separated. So this is how we will be needing it. Close this window and then click on this plus button in the end to add the next and the final action step. That is going to be your Google Contacts. So type your action application as Google Contacts over here. As I told you, the event is going to be to create a contact. Click on connect and then add new connection. Now sign in with your Google account in order to connect Google Contacts and Pabbly Connect. Choose your Google account, click on allow. That's how you give access, and then the authorization will be successful. Once this is done, you can see it says connected. Now you have to fill in the details like a general creation of contact that you do in your Google Contacts. But this time you are going to do it just for this one specific time. So in email addresses, you will put the email address. So as I told you, search and map data, I just wrote @ and here is the email address. Then you have the display name, family name, given name. So you will give the name in the given name over here. So what was the name? This was the name. You mapped the name over here. Then we have the address. So address formatted values. So if you would have entered the address in different sections, you would have used commas, but we have address at one single place. So I will just write like this. Yeah, here we have the complete address over here. Then you scroll down for your field. Yeah, birth year, birth month and birthday. See, I told you. So in year, you're going to map it from the text formatter. This is the year. What was the month? The month was 12. And then the day, so the day was 11. So that's how we have split it and used the birth date. Next we have the gender, but we did not specify any gender. So how can you guarantee which is the gender of this contact? So what you're going to do is you can map this over here, and then when it is mapped, so you can erase this part. The good part is that it does not ask you any required field, so you can just leave it open, not specific or not important to mention the gender. Now it's time for phone number. So you're going to map the phone number from here. So this was the phone number. And I guess we are done with all the important details that are required to create a contact. Now we will simply click on Save and Send Test Request and wait for the response from Google Contacts to a contact be created. And here we have received the response. It shows no error, which means that there is no problem in our workflow. Our contact has been created. Once this is done, you can close this step of action application, that is Google Contacts over here, and then we'll go back to your Google Contacts. What you can do is just refresh it once, and here we have the contact, the name, the email address and the phone number. If you open this contact, you will see the address, and here we have the birthday as well, which means that the contact has been created successfully. Now every time a person you have shared this link with is going to fill the form, a contact will automatically be created. So there is no need to create another contact. Just remember that when you create this workflow, you split the text using the text formatter by Pabbly. So this was the whole workflow. I hope this helped.
In this video, we are going to understand how to add or update row in Google Sheets from new form response. So every time you receive a new response through any form builder application, now you want that if that particular information is already there in your Google Sheet, then it should be updated. And if it is not there, then it should be added as a new row. Now, how can you do that? For this, you will have to integrate these two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here your trigger application will be Typeform and your action application will be Google Sheets. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and here we have reached the landing page. On the right hand side, we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes. Now, since I'm an existing user, I'm simply going to click on sign in. And as I do that, we have reached all applications page. These are the various products of Pabbly, and I'm going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect, as we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. Now we have reached the dashboard. On the right hand side, there's a tab Create Workflow. Let's click on this, and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Here you can give any random name. What is my objective here? My objective is every time through any form builder application I have received a new response, a lead, then I want to first check if that lead already exists in my spreadsheet. Here I am taking the example of a Google Sheet. Then if it exists, then it should just update the value, and if it does not exist, then the value should be added as a new row in my Google Sheet. So I'm going to name it as Add or Update Row in Google Sheets from New Form Response. Now I'm going to click on Create. As I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important modules. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, as per this integration, my trigger application will be Typeform, as I'm using Typeform as the form builder application. You can use any other form builder application as well. Now the trigger event. So this is the event that is going to make this workflow run, and here it would be new entry. Let's click on connect. As I do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Typeform account. I'm going to click on add new connection, connect with Typeform. As I do that, here we have to provide the authorization. So I'm going to go down and click on accept. As I do that, we can see that the authorization has been successful, which means that Typeform and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Here we have to enter the name of the form. So before I do that, let me take you to my Typeform account. So these are the various forms that I already have created. So here we have this appointment form. Let's click on this. And now here we have got the 4 different fields: first name, last name, phone number and email address. Now if you wish to add more fields, you can always do that. Just click on this plus icon and you would be able to add a new question. So I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here we are going to enter appointment. Let's click on save and send test request. And as we do that, here we can see it is written that now do a test submission in that application in order to capture the response here, which means that now we are supposed to fill up a form, a mock form, so that we can understand if Typeform and Pabbly Connect are now properly integrated. So I'm going to take you back to Typeform. Here I'm going to click on publish. As I do that, we have received the link of the form. I'm going to copy this and open this in a new tab. As I do that, here we have to fill in the information. So now let's say that my information here is first name is Smart. Then the last name here is user. Then we have the phone number. And then we have the email address. So once I have entered, you can see the form has been submitted. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here you can see that we have received the API response. So let me take you down, and yes, here you can see we have received the first name, last name, then here is the last name, then we have the mobile number, and here is the email address. Now what is my objective? That once I have received the response, first it should check whether this particular response already exists in my Google Sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my action application here as Google Sheet. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to look up spreadsheet rows. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Google Sheets account. I'm going to select add new connection, sign in with Google. We have to provide the account. And once done, here Pabbly Connect Sheets wants to access my Google account. This is absolutely secure. Let's click on allow. And as we do that, you can see that the authorization has been successful, which means that Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now here we have to enter the name of the spreadsheet. So it is new leads, and since there was only one sheet, so it has already been captured by the system. Let me show you the sheet that I have created. So this is the new leads spreadsheet. There is only one sheet. The name is sheet 1. Here I have got 4 column fields: first name, last name, email address, and contact number. And I already have got 2 contacts. Now taking you back to Pabbly Connect. What is the lookup column? So my lookup column here is the email address. So I'm going to take C as my lookup column. Now what is the lookup value? So it is the email address. So I'm going to click on this. Here you can see the previous step. So I'm going to look for the email address here. Here it is. And then I'm going to click on save and send test request. Now you can see that I have received the response, and this shows that this particular user already exists. Now this method with which I have added the information is known as mapping, and this is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Now since this particular user already exists, so I'm just going to update the row value. What if this user did not exist? Then I will have to create a new row. So now since I have got conditions, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is router, which is going to help us in providing conditions. Here you can see it is written that router step allows to execute different actions based on the filter conditions you set. So this is route 1. Here I am going to rename this route and I'm going to write update contact. So let's click on update. Now I'm going to set filter and action step. So here I'm going to go to Google Sheet, step 2, and here I'm going to go to row index. Now if this row index exists, then this workflow should continue. So let's click on save and send test request. And here you can see that I have received the status which is a success. The condition is true. Now, if this row index is already there, which means that I just need to update the cell value. So I'm going to click on add action step. Here I'm going to choose my action application as Google Sheets. Let's click on this. And the action event would be to update row. Let's click on this, click on connect. And here I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now once done, here we have to select the spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet. You can see the sheet has already been selected by the system. Here we have to map the row index. Let's go to step 2. This here is the row index. Then we have to map the first name. So I'm going to go to step 1. And here we have to map the first name which is Smart. Then the last name here is, this is the last name. Then the email address. So here I'm going to look for the email address. And then we have to enter the contact number. So again, let's look for the contact number. Here it is. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. So you can see I've received the response. Let's take you to my Google Sheet, and no new row has been added because this particular value has been updated. Now I'm going to go ahead with my route 2. So here I'm going to rename this and I'm going to make it new contact. Let's click on update, set filter and action steps. Here I'm going to go to step 2, row index, and here I'm going to make it does not exist. So if the contact doesn't exist, so there won't be any row index. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request, and here you can see the condition is false. If the condition is false, which means if there is no row with that value, then it is going to be Google Sheets once again. Here it is, and this time I'm going to add a new row. Let's click on connect. So here again I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now let's select the spreadsheet. The sheet has already been selected by the system, you can see that. Now the first name. So here the first name will be, so again I'm going to go to step 1 and I'm going to go down, and this here is the first name. Then we have the last name, so let's go down, and this here is the last name. Then we have the email address, so let's look for the email address. Here it is. And the final thing is the contact number. So here I'm going to go to Typeform and look for the phone number. So once done, let's click on save and send test request. You can see that I have received the response. So as I click on save and send test request, this is the response that I have received, and here you can see that it would be added like this. Now this is just to show you how it is going to be added as a new row here. Now I'm going to check this integration in real time. So now I'm going to take you back to my Typeform account, and here let's click on share once again. So I'm going to copy this link once again and open this in a new tab here. So now let's enter my first name. So this time let it be demo. Then the last name here is type. Then we have the phone number, and then we have the email address, which is demotype@pabblytudes.com. Now as soon as I click on submit, what should happen? Since this is a new user, then the value should be added to my Google Sheet, and yes, you can see it has been added as a new row. Now let's say that the value already exists. So I'm going to just copy this, and here I'm going to go to Typeform once again, copy this link, open this in a new tab once again, and I'm going to just change the name. So let's say it is demo, and the last name is type1. Then the phone number is demotype@pabblytudes.com. Demotype@pabblytudes.com. I'm going to click on submit. Now as I do that, what should happen? The value should be updated, and here you can see instead of type1 has been written, which means only the value has been updated. So this means that our integration is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. I'm going to close this. Let's take you up. So here our trigger application was a form builder application. Here I have taken Typeform, where the event was new entry. Then our action application was Google Sheet, where first we had looked up the spreadsheet rows, and then our action application was router, which is a feature by Pabbly that helps you in putting conditions through filters. Here we have got two routes. First we have update contact. Here we had applied a filter that if the row index exists, then only this workflow should run. If it exists, then the action application will be Google Sheets, where the event would be update row. And the second one is new contact, where let's understand the filter and action steps. Here if the row index does not exist, then this workflow should continue, and here it would be to add a new row in Google Sheet. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.